And now we are good. We are live. Welcome, Mr. TyrellNotTyler. Welcome.
What's up? How's it going?
Your life is good, man. It is. This whole adventure has been quite interesting, all things considered. But really, it's exciting to have you here. Honestly, my name is Holden Stephan Roy. This is Bridge the Gap, and it's basically the show where we walk through the lives of interesting people such as yourself, and we just kind of extract knowledge nuggets from the experiences and just kind of see what it is. In a lot of
Little
ways,
knowledge. Okay. Little knowledge nuggets. I like that. I like that terminology there.
yeah. I mean, in a lot of ways, it's like I don't know if you ever tried to research people here, but there's there's not necessarily a lot of information out there just on the facts of life, and so that's kind of the goal is to capture the stories of us, especially when it comes to Montreal folk. I believe you're from Montreal, right?
I am born and raised. Yeah.
Fantastic. So that's super important for the first question that we're gonna have, which is it's a little bit of a staple we do here now. It's a bit of a story. When it lands, you can take it in whatever direction you want, and then we're
All
gonna
right.
get the ball rolling for real. So it all starts with my girlfriend, and she's washing the dishes, and she's playing that Black Eyed Peas song, the "I Got a Feeling."
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. And she's vibing,
Okay.
she's dancing, she's doing her thing, but she's washing the dishes. And I start thinking about this, and I'm like, it's kind of funny that this song is a dishes song now. Like, this song in particular is chores music. It's exercise
Okay.
music. It's the shit that, we put on when we doing the absolute boring stuff to make life a little bit less boring. But what
I hear you.
but what's interesting about this song in particular is, at least for a lot of us 10 years ago, this was the club banger. Like, it was the club banger. Like, at 2 in the morning, everybody be super drunk, dancing in circles and shit to this song. And then I was like, yo, hold on a second. So 10 years ago, this song over here is a club song. We all out doing our club thing, bars, whatever we doing, we're out and about. And then 10 years later, all of a sudden, this song is dishes music and exercise music and stuff. And I'm like, that's serious, right? And so I realized that as we got older, the song stuck with us, but the purpose and the energy of the song completely changed. And its role in
Okay.
our life completely changed and evolved along with us. And I was like, that's a super nifty thing. Then I said to myself, these little 20-year-olds dancing to Cardi B right now, they have no idea what's coming. They have no idea that this is going to be their dishes music. And then as I've
Mm.
gone over this a bunch of times, I found out Cardi B is just dishes music if you're the right age. And it's seriously nifty how the club music becomes the exercise chores music, and it just kind of evolves. And so if the songs go on journeys with us and we're the music people, we also have these journeys that we go on. And I find that when we talk about this, a lot of us start in that adolescent phase when we form our identities and start to attach ourselves to music and all these different things. But if you really think about it, music has always been around since we're born. There's gonna have been some kind of it, parents, whatever environment.
100%.
So I can remember being 4-ish years old. My dad's got these gray boxes all lined up, the amp and the tape decks and the radio thing, and it got all the wires going everywhere, all across the apartment to all these different fucking speakers and shit that he would put together. Take him 30 minutes to set this shit up when we moved. He'd be busting out the Led Zeppelin tapes all throughout the days and whatnot. At night, it was the 90s club dance, Mix 96 radio vibes that would be
Mix
going on.
96. What is that, bro? You talking Virgin Radio?
Back then, it was Mix 96 vibes.
I know. I know.
But then yeah, my mom would be into the discos, and she would be bumping musicals and whatever. Not as much fun. I remember at Christmas time we had these EDM album of remixes to Christmas bangers, and we only ever played it at present opening time kind of thing. So all that to say, there's this whole existence to music that almost creates this foundation to who we end up becoming as artists and things later on in life. So I was hoping you could bring us back to the youngest Tyrell you can remember and walk us through a little bit what it sounded like to be you before you had any control over what it sounded like.
Okay, so we're talking strictly from a musical perspective.
Well, we start there and get all branched out.
Okay. So, 100% raised on soul and R&B. My mother would be listening to anything from 70s to probably 90s. And then later on, she got into the 2000s, as I aged a little bit. But it was Stevie Wonder, Gladys Knight and the Pips. It was mostly, my mother liked feel good music. So it was a lot of upbeat, more soul funk. And then my father was more onto like a 90s R&B vibe, like songs with more emotional content. So I learned a lot of like songwriting coming from those 90s R&B songs that really had like very crafted lyrics. The lyrics were not how lyrics are now. It's kind of just like a line is a line. None of them tie into each other. So I was more raised on this is the theme of the song. So like Luther Vandross had these songs where it was really just, the hook is this and the verses correspond to what the hook was. And so I was really raised on that feel good love music, I would think. And some of the pain music too, which is probably most what I tie into or attach to.
Nah, everything I heard in your catalog, everything. Because, we were like, your YouTube is a treasure trove that people should go discover. It's a fucking treat to go back to your old Bruno Mars covers.
Yeah, damn, you went way back.
People have 2010 videos, bro. I mean, of course I'm going to click on that. I mean, as much as Happy For You's a banger, let's go back to the Bruno Mars covers. Yo, you got Mr. Logical, your bros in the chat, apparently validating everything you're saying about growing up with that. And as Ismail in the chat said, it makes sense when we listen to your music. Everything you described there, like that's why it's so interesting. Like that is the real influences and stuff. What your parents bumping? Was y'all like on vinyls? Was it radios? Like how was y'all like listening to music?
Like we had tapes, never vinyls. I don't think my parents ever had the vinyls. They're not that, like, my parents are pretty young still, so definitely we started with tapes. I remember back in the days with the tape decks, and we would have to press the record button and the play button in order to make sure we were recording what was on the sound there. So we did all of that, and then it moved to discs. Obviously, CDs were probably more prominent. I remember having the Discman that you kept in your pocket that you could barely fit. That one that if you hit it, it would skip the CD. I was around in that time.
You're bringing me back to high school and the pains of the skippings. And remember, like getting an anti-skip one, and an anti-skip one would mean that your batteries lasted an hour.
Yeah, but it's also the biggest scam. I remember having anti-skip CD players, and they would still skip, bro. Like if one hard hit, it's on to the next song, bro.
That's fantastic. No, honestly, I haven't thought about that in a long time. Or if it got scratched in that one particular song, would get fucked up every single time, no matter what happened.
Next song, play the next song.
100%. So when you were like young, what part of Montreal did you grow up in?
So I was actually born and raised in St. Henry.
Okay.
I lived there for probably the longest part of my life, probably until I was about 17 or so.
All right, so we'll definitely pick up where you go after 17. So you're up in St. Henry. And when you're like really young, do you have like an interest in singing, or are you preoccupied with other stuff?
When I was really young, I had no interest in rap. I would say that very honestly.
That's fair.
I was actually, the only artist that I really wanted to be was Usher. So the 8701 album was probably the first album that really wanted to make me get into being a performer, being a singer, being a songwriter.
And even like
Usher's 87.
Yeah, I remember when that came out a bit. So were you young when you heard that one? I don't remember exactly when it dropped.
I mean, I don't want to like 100% give my age away. 8701, that would make me 11.
Okay, that's fair. Don't worry about your age. You got the beard going on. It's perfect. Own that shit. You're gonna sell more like that anyway. It's the truth of it. I'm like, yo, you can't hide from your age. This is the fact of the situation. You even said it on one of your tracks if they listen to it. You say you're 23 on a song, and it has the year of the song, and I was able to deduce how old you were from that shit just by going through your music.
Okay, tell me that song so I could delete.
Nah, but you know what's funny is that it's only the people I talk to attached to battle rap that give a shit in any way.
100%.
Everyone else is like, who the fuck cares? Whatever. I'm 33. I own that shit.
Because in battle rap, there's such like this thing where I have to, like, even social media, you have to curtail everything to make sure that they can't find information off of you and use that against you. I don't feel that same energy from music, but when you're in battle rap, everything you post, everything you talk about is open for them picking it apart.
Yeah, I've definitely come to encounter that. Like the first time I ever encountered somebody I talked to with a private profile was an active battle rapper, and then it like made sense. Okay, private right. Instagram. You're a battle rapper. It's not like you're a rapper where you want all this shit. Like you want diss songs when you're a rapper.
Yeah, let's go.
So before you get into the singing, because believe it or not, people care about like the completionist of you. Unlike the battle rap world and the music world, all the fans are like, yo, I want to hear about Tyrell when he was 7, and so like, what other kinds of shit preoccupied a little version of you before the music kicked in then?
Oh, so before music, it was to be honest, like I started learning English on a Dr. Seuss level. There was this book that had a compilation of Dr. Seuss stories. It had like Yertle the Turtle, it had How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the Lorax, and that was the book that I really used to read frequently. So that really got me into my love of rhyming. That was a lot of what I did when I was a kid. Obviously, I grew up with brothers and a sister, so a lot of fighting, a lot of stuff like that. That was my childhood. But I've kind of been primarily a caregiver and just making sure I was there for my sister most of my life.
Yeah, it's serious. But you're saying that you went and read a bunch of Dr. Seuss and that got you rhyming as a kid?
Yeah, so I'm telling you, there was this one compilation book that had every single one of those stories. Like I said, those ones that I listed, there were a few other ones. I think something about a hat, Mortimer's hat or something. I don't know. But it was, it really got me into like rhyming. And what I liked about Dr. Seuss is it wasn't always like one syllable rhymes, which is right now, like when I hear a rap song and it's one syllable, I really it like hurts me a little bit. I'm like, if you rhyme bus with Gus, I get annoyed a little bit, only because it's the old style of rap. And I prefer like at least 2 syllables, multi-syllables if better, but that's where it started as far as my love for rhyming. And so that made me do poetry. Poetry finally got me into rap, but it was really my brother that got me into that. So he used to listen to rap, and then he started rhyming and rapping, and he put me on one of his songs, and then it was, history was written from there.
So you're saying flat out that Dr. Seuss got you into multisyllabic rhyming. Most people go to
say that straight up.
Go to like Eminem and other sources, and you're just like, this is why we do this, man. People need to know this shit. Value and power of Dr. Seuss.
I'm not going to say that, all those other artists didn't like take it to a different level, right? So when you start getting a little more critical of your work, then you start going, okay, well, he did this many syllables and made it rhyme this way. But definitely it started with Dr. Seuss. My love for rhyme started with Dr. Seuss. And I think I've curtailed it more once I listened to more different artists. Eminem was one of them. I've never been particularly a great fan of Eminem.
I get that.
I'll say that straight out, only because I'm not a big fan of his voice. But I like his songs where they're a little more deeper. Toy Soldiers, a little more on the heavier stuff,
That's fair.
But I was, when I was young, I listened to that song where, Kim and bitch, I'ma kill you and all that stuff. That's my jams.
Yeah, that album, in my opinion, slaps real hard, especially when you're really young. And it was like he was all over the world. That whole era was like a vibe.
And we could never go back to it. There's no way we go back to that album and it'd be okay.
It's definitely a weird listen. It's a weird one. I mean, I do bump it here and there, but I find I don't listen to him at all anymore. Like, I just have no desire to. It's not even like he's good or bad. It just, I don't know. There's something about a dude in the 1% that whines all the time that just doesn't sit right with me.
Okay, what do you mean when you're saying whines all the time?
I mean, like when you listen to his music, it's very whiny, but he's extremely fucking wealthy, and it just doesn't sit as well like when he was not extremely fucking wealthy. That's just me. I can't get past that. That's not even a real thing to a lot of people. That's just my like where I'm at with it. I don't know. If you're
saying more on the whine, like people are like he whines a lot about like how people are not respecting his
all that shit. It's just like go be like I don't know. I heard like the Carters, and I'm like, I suppose that's what I want my really rich rappers to sound like.
100%. They know their wealth. They know where they're at, and they appreciate.
Like, I want you to be so confident you don't need me at that point, not the other way around. But that's again my preferences. I'm not judging the guy. That's what I want to listen to. I want to listen to confident motherfuckers that like own the world.
That being said, I don't want a diss track versus Eminem. I'm not Machine Gun Kelly. I would get smoked.
I don't want that smoke.
I don't want it.
It was super crazy is how that happened, and then Machine Gun Kelly goes on to like dominate music in a completely different genre.
And I feel a genre that fits him better in my
opinion. But I always saw him like that. What really got me into him was a Rise Against cover. Like back in the day, like it was always that side of him that was super appealing to me.
Right.
Anyway, so you were like 11 and you got into Usher. and you decided, fuck it, I'm gonna be a singer?
Bro, it was Usher 8701, and then from that it was Neo's first album. I think it's called In My Mind.
I don't
Not
know
Your
that.
Style.
Neo's like one of those guys where I know he's on that song with Pitbull, and you just said
Mm.
Neo's around since back then, and I just realized Neo's around since back then now.
Bro, Neo was high school. Neo was high school for me. And it was really just like the carefully crafted lyrics. Everything fit perfect. He just really made me want to work on songwriting. And then after that, you know, you had the Joe Buttons. Joe Budden was super crazy. And I'm talking like post Pump It Up. Pump It Up was like, every time you say Joe Budden, people think Pump It Up. I think his other songs where it's really just, you know, just well crafted stuff, you know?
Yo, go on
So
a
my
bit
brother
about
used
that.
to-
Like, what ones? Like, what is it about Joe Budden? And I say that because we just talked about Joe Budden the other day. Somebody Pump It Up is that, and then often it's he's not a good rapper or this, that, the next thing. So having somebody be like, fuck Pump It Up, I'm super into Joe Budden. I'm mad curious what makes you into his music.
Okay, so I don't think like I couldn't list you a title. I was listening to
that's
this
cool.
back when my brother used to listen to it. But it wasn't Pump It Up. It's just that he used to do songs where it was really crafted in storytelling, but he would be able to rhyme the entire thing. Like even his disses against Drake, when he did the whole Drake dissing thing. That's way later, way later. But he's well crafted in the way that he writes. Whereas Pump It Up was really more radio. I liked post radio Joe Budden. I think it was after he got dropped by his label, and then after that he was really more a better writer. Even Slaughterhouse Joe Budden, without the ego, would be nice if he cut the ego. Slaughterhouse Joe Budden was dope.
That's fair. So when you were in like high school, then, and what high school did you go to?
I went to Westmount High School.
Fresh. So when you were in high school, then, were you involved in music at all, or was this just something you were fascinated with on the low?
Yeah, so high school, I don't think I started really rhyming or rapping until I was 16, which probably would have been the end of it. There were like a couple of people that are doing ciphers, but to be honest, I've never had like the confidence to freestyle during a thing. I'm a written artist, so when people were doing ciphers, I was kind of just listening and monitoring the thing. You know, I was more like Drake with the cell phone out. You know, I could write my things down and then after that reread them, but I can't come up with stuff off the top.
Were you doing like singing stuff prior to that?
Singing, listen, I've been singing, you know, just because I used to work a job when I was 17. I was doing cleaning, and it would be like just me in the building. So I would sing, and I would start doing. That's when I really started writing. So when I was 17 and I was doing cleaning, there was nobody in the building. I would just be writing songs with instrumentals that I used to listen to off of Dat Piff. I used to download a lot of stuff off of Dat Piff back in the days, or YouTube instrumentals, and then I would just play them and then write songs to them. It was probably the most creative part of my my musical career.
That's super nifty. Is it a virtue of the time? Like just because you had the time to like fuck around while you're at work and you could in theory just bang out songs at work?
Time was one of the things. I think when you get older, you start getting in your head a little more. I had a little bit more confidence. I had less worry about what other people were thinking when I was younger. But I think as I've gotten older, like I'm more, you know, listening to, I think you get more empathetic.
Yeah.
Empathetic. So I get more empathetic to people. And so what happens is when I'm listening to or writing to a song now, I think more about what the audience is going to receive from it. So I'm a little less, you know, in my own head and a little more externally. So it takes a different toll when it comes to the writing. And I think that just means that like back then it came so easy. It was this, that. And now it's a struggle to write music now. It's more, it takes time. It takes time. Sometimes it hits right away, but most of the time I need a theme. I know exactly what I'm going to write about. And I need to make sure every line hits where I didn't have to worry about it back then.
Yeah, I really like that you brought that up. I mean, I went through a whole thing like that over the last 2 or 3 years, to be honest. Because I think it's not necessarily a virtue of age, but a virtue of how serious you want to take your career. And I say that because I watched a music video and said, oh, this dude's taking his shit serious right now. Like, that's like a banging video. Honestly, I don't like music videos much. I really find most of them to be shit. That was nice.
Say how you really feel.
I just do. I'm not good at it. Like, no, I mean, it's not that they're shit. It's just like, they serve their, even my videos are like whatever, they're a visual accompaniment. I'm not really that kind of artist like that. It's really weird for me. So I watch a lot of videos. Even the story ones are kind of whatever. Your shit was nifty. And then you were still dropping devices by the end of it with the fear fucking hope thing at the end, like an entirely new deviation of interest that drops in 80% of the way through the fucking video. I was like, okay, this is at a level that I don't see a lot of in life, even in the pros. Like even in, because I stopped when I do the album reviews. I'm not really doing them now. Don't ask people. But when I do them, like I don't even talk about the videos no more. I just,
Okay.
there's nothing left for me to say. But yours is really good. So I wanted to give you the props on that. I even like hit up Buds and I'm like, I like that a lot. Like I saw him in the video. I was like, this is fucking enjoyable.
I'm going to be 100% honest, though. The hope fear theme was really built off of 500 Days of Summer. I don't know if you've ever seen the movie. So in that, there was like a scene where he's about to go see his ex-girlfriend. And there's this scene where they cut his expectations versus the reality of what happens. So they have this entire scene where he goes upstairs, he finally sees her, and they fall deeply in love again. And then everything goes happy. And then he has this other fear, which becomes the reality. And he meets her and she's with a new man. And it was exactly the same thing we wanted to build. But when we were working with Guillaume Berezien, he decided that the real more thing that is relatable is hope and fear. We all have these hopes that we want things, how we want things to be. But the fear also proceeds in us of how we are afraid it might happen. And so what I really liked what he did was he took the fear and then he saw that the reality like expanded into what it actually was, which is what my favorite part of the video was.
Yeah, that was hype.
Yeah, it really took it to like a deeper level. And I've been there. So for him to do it in the video was like, it's a real thing, you know?
I liked it. So basically, let's go back to like you're 17ish, you're working there. You're saying it's what I liked about what you said though. It was like almost more easy to be creative. So something about the process of overthinking makes you less creative.
Listen, it could make you a better writer in the sense that even if I go back to my older music, I don't think it tied into a theme as specifically. But then again, sometimes, like if I look at my, like, if we go way back to like Bruno Mars, my Grenade cover, I could take a hook that somebody was writing and then write an entire verse in that hook. What's becoming harder is making it come from myself. So like I could do a remix to a track easy, where I'm just writing a hook to something that somebody already came up with, but coming up with my own ideas. And then after that, tying it into a theme that sticks is a lot harder now. Because it's also like you start to realize what's been done before. When I was 17, I really didn't know what the history of music was. I haven't been watching the industry for the last 10 years. And now watching it, you're like, oh, well, this song's been done. That song's been done before. Am I really going to make this song that sounds just like this song? I get a little more critical about it because I've studied more material. It's probably the same thing for a book writer who has read several books and they're like, oh, well, this book, it's been written before.
Or even within yourself. Right? Because I mean, like I find like sometimes I listen to it and like my girlfriend pointed out that I have a clutch on my freestyles that I fall back on, and I say the same thing like every time. So now every time I hear it, I'm like, that's the worst thing I've ever. And then I'm like, what am I doing? That's the dumbest shit ever. To me at least. But what I thought was when you said that, I was like, yeah, because I want the Tyrell version. That was my thought, because I find you highly interesting, especially in this world of DMS and stuff. Your personality kind of stands out to me as like this like character that isn't necessarily of the traditional mold of what you would find in that general sense. So it's like, yeah, I kind of want to, I don't know, I was listening to another one of the covers, one of the other Bruno Mars, and it felt like you just put your flair on it. You wrapped it more or less. And I'm like, yeah, so bro, you're just doing Bruno Mars and it sounded ill just you doing it with your own version. So that's my perception as like a listener. So I hear you as an artist. As the other side is, yo, sometimes shit's a vibe and you make the vibe.
100%. 100%. I think you're referring probably to Just the Way You Are.
Yeah. That shit was nice.
And that one was really just like it came from genuine emotion, you know, like I was writing it for somebody. So I wrote it, but also I was influenced by a lot of different styles, and I don't like to sound like a lot of different artists. So I won't do in that sound like sound like Drake and I feel Montreal does this a lot now. Like I'm having an issue with a lot of the sound that's going out right now, and it sounds like everybody. I mean, there are some artists that are really just taking it to a different sound. Nate Husser obviously being one of them. I don't know anybody in Montreal that sounds like Nate Husser. And there are several other ones that are just making their own sound.
I like Deuce God a lot. Gotta bring Deuce
God, yeah.
Deuce God's ridiculous. Cool Man Logan does this thing. You should bring up Cool Man Logan.
You share a lot of this stuff.
Cool, hey, squad now. You gotta bring up your people. Like when they roll with you. Yo, it's even plausible, depending on how the day goes, that CL ends up here later because we're trying to bang on some shit. Plausible, because sometimes we get lazy. But like, yeah, it's just. I thought he's a good artist. I think Serenity is a really good artist. I think Mr. Flipstar is a really good artist. There's actually
I've actually done a track with Flipstar. He's dope.
Yeah, I saw that on the Spotify just now, and I heard it before because I listened to the album and it just didn't connect 100%. Sometimes you like realize who the features are after the fact. But all I'm saying is, I get what you mean about Montreal in a lot of ways, but I also think that there's a lot of misinformation out there, and not a lot of people have ever played with big numbers, so they don't fully have the context to recognize that even 80,000 views on a thing isn't a win, right? Like, to me,
it's not about the views.
So
totally,
it's like,
right?
It's like culture is a thing that I'm very fascinated on. I'm happy to talk about that any day of the week. We're going to go back to you, though. Trust, your story is important.
Just one thing, though, I did want to say, because I feel like a lot of times when people mention Nate Husser, they don't mention the other two people that were in his group that I feel are doing crazy dope music still. So back when Nate Husser was with the Posters, he used to be with Chris the Spirit, Joey Sherritt, right? And both of them right now are still doing very dope music. And I want both of them to get their shout outs. They need to get their tea as well. So, what they're flowers, why they can still smell them, in my opinion. They are super dope artists, and I think they need to get shouted out more.
I think there's so many dope artists in Montreal, but we just don't actually see them because of the sheer volume of artists in Montreal. At one point, I made a playlist. I just haven't updated it. It is 11 hours in Montreal.
Damn.
And it's a fraction, and it's all within the last year or so, with a couple of exceptions. And everybody I've showed it to had to shut the fuck up and say the city had talent. And it's every style. So to your credit, there is every fucking style. But that's kind of cool within itself. So it's almost like no matter what the fuck you're into in this city, there's like 10 guys who do it. And that's something I can say confidently. So blessing and a curse with it. I can understand the lack of artistic distinction, but also I don't think a lot of people have ever done the market research into what a city sound is. And I'm only blessed because I do this. So I talked to Lush One, and Lush One gave me a formula that I thought made a lot of sense. He said, go to any region, listen to everything that's not hip hop in that region, and then go listen to the hip hop, and you'll find out exactly what the fuck the city sound is. Because all it is that hip hop is like a collage of the sounds of a region. So fundamentally, you just have to look at your city's music scene and go, what the fuck pops? That's what the fans in the city are going to gravitate to, and that's what the city sounds like.
Right.
And that's kind of why I ended
based
up
on your research, where did you get?
I made an EDM project, and I started finding any EDM beat I could get.
So Montreal's EDM in your...
Bro, the rave scenes are ridiculous. My brother was doing 3,000 person sets while I was performing to 80 people in a bar. My brother was getting paid once upon a time when I was not. This is back 2012, 2014 era when I started. Rave scene had some issues. They went legitimate, as in bigger scale, which made it less fun for the real ones. And then there was some violence and shit, which caused some problems and killed the underground on cop shit. But it taught me a lot about the potential for things. But also, like, I was just sitting there thinking, like, yo, COVID's done. Who the fuck wants to go stand in a bar, watch a bunch of rappers rap? Yeah, there's people. But I think a lot more people want to go to a rave and just fucking dance. Try to get laid and shit.
How many people wanted to do that before COVID?
Wait,
I felt like...
yo, bro, did you see Jerry Park during COVID? When the thousands of people in Jerry Park fucking partying to these underground raves with Kate Trinata in them? All the dance.
Raves, for sure. Yeah, 100%. That's different. But I'm talking about the hip hop scene as far as like, even prior to COVID, we were having a struggle with selling tickets as hip hop artists or going to do shows as hip hop artists, in my opinion.
Yo,
And I don't know if
you
that's
are
just my
not
experience.
incorrect. But like, yo, there's layers to all of this, right? So for one thing, people don't understand their age group no more. Young people hip hop and old people hip hop is not the same. And my cutoff is 25.
Okay.
If you're 25, none of your friends want to go to the bar and get smashed like they used to. So your ability
Which
to
created
do,
an energy for the music, for sure.
so what I saw is a lot of people get older and the show stayed at 11 p.m. and I'm like, bro, like I couldn't sell tickets to shows, not because I didn't have 10 people who I could convince to come, but because I couldn't find a show that started early enough. That was one of them. Yo, the kids stopped going to bars on drink prices. So if you're trying to get young people, going to like bars is just weird. Because have you ever seen a 20-year-old at a bar in the last? They don't do that. So I started talking to young people, and there's a bit of a split between the rich going to clubs, techno dance music, and the poor people at house parties. Everything in the world.
Parties.
So it made me realize that like, yo, the problem in a lot of senses was environment. And then there's a branding issue. Yo, let's be real. Like, when everybody's talking shit about all the shit and all the people that are friends with us see everybody talking shit about all the shit, all they fucking see is bad. So I said, fuck that. And I just started doing this promote people shit. Sometimes I don't even like your shit and I'll share it.
What?
It's the facts of it. Or at least I'll think it's mediocre and call it great. There are like 5 or 6 people I will die hard say are amazing. Serenity, Cool Man, Logan, Flipstar. These are people I think are fucking incredible. But like, yo, it's about saying the city's blessed. Or like, there's so many things we as artists fail to do to like actually build branding for the city. Like, yo, if I send you my shit, you might not like it, but do you have a boy that likes it? I guarantee you I do weird geeky white boy shit. Trust there's people in the city that might fuck with it. Then when I hear your R&B shit, my guy, no offense, is not my favorite. But I know some motherfuckers that will roll with that shit. Like you and Basics on a track, it just sounds perfect to me.
Bro, I've been wanting to do an album, and both of us have talked about it. I've been wanting to do an album with Basics, an entire thing.
Anyway.
Because the sound just fits. And honestly, he's a dope dude. He's just really great.
But,
and MC wise or rap wise,
yeah, fucks with it.
Unparalleled.
And I guess all of that is I went on this journey, so I started talking to people, and I realized one thing. A lot of people know about promo, and nobody know a damn thing about marketing. And it's like, you'll notice I do have a promo game running. It's called I'm giving out $100 on that contest, and motherfuckers are throwing my brand around their YouTube. That's about as far as I go with promo. Everything else is marketing. I focus entirely on building a brand that's focused around XYZ core values and creating an entire person, all that shit. But I don't see people really creating lore, and because lore creates interest. So now we just started rapping about this fake bike that we stole from Cool Man Logan. And you're supposed to go, what the fuck? But once you have that feeling, you're gonna maybe click. And it's weird. But yo,
I mean,
we also never rap about each other.
Take the Conor McGregor method, or even like what's going on now with Logan Paul or Jake Paul. If you could take that and apply those methods toward music,
bro, it's just you don't have to be a shithead about it.
You don't have to be a shithead.
So
they decided to be a shithead about it, and it worked.
So I went a different route though, because I'm not that. I'm into kindness battles more than mean battles. I like mean battles from a spectator, but I'm a kindness battle motherfucker. Let me make you sound good. So check it. I went ahead and, I did the cipher that I'm running every Tuesday. And I asked beat makers for beats. And Meticulous decides to send in these beats with this. And nobody else did this. It was just him. No free beats. Purchase your tracks today. All over that shit.
Purchase your tracks today.
So then there's 7 free beats at meticulous.ca.
Okay.
So I made a project called Yo Meticulous. I found free beats. And I just made the worst, it's just no choruses.
I've been seeing this though.
That was the first one. That was like the beginning of a movement that started happening in my life. So I did that to troll Meticulous, and then I put it out, and I just say 7 free beats, meticulous.ca, because it's funny, because everyone steals beats, but nobody steals Montreal beats. So now I updated my Spotify to steal Montreal beats as my banner. So it's become one of my mantras. And so I made a song on my next mixtape called Steal Montreal Beats, where I make fun of people who pay for Amino Domini. And then I'm like, yo, if you're going to do it, go. So all of a sudden I'm getting free beats like fucking crazy. I got it's been like an insane rush of, but all I do in a sense is try to rap about, and also rap about people. Like Yo, look at underground scenes. I know this is just turning into me preaching. We'll go back to you, but you asked, so whatever.
No, it's not. It's okay.
Look at like every underground scene. Like they have all these mixtapes based around culture, and then they have their studio shit. Like look at the Bay Area. Look at these things. So like they rap about each other in positive ways. Like I know that Gucci was Waka Flocka's motherfucking right because he said that on Hard in the Paint, and he told me that they were home. You don't hear that shit here. Nobody raps about each other. So I started rapping about Cool Man Logan. It's maybe not the coolest per se. I'm actually trying to just lampoon everybody in fun ways. It's like, yo, Lemef came on my stream, so I rapped a song about how I want to do a song with Lemef because he didn't do a song with me yet. So, you know, like, so now the song's going to be called Lemef, blah, blah, blah. But when you're going to go on Spotify later and type in Lemef, my track's going to show up.
100%.
So all I have to say is I think that's marketing gimmicks that are fun, and we could try that as a city.
Hell, it's like if we're going outside of the music industry, if you go just like Ryan Reynolds, Hugh Jackman, you know, the pranks that they used to do to each other, kind of build their own brand around who they are as actors. And you could apply the same shit to musicians. If I wanted to just do like a, Tyrell rolls up on basics, and you did an entire video on that.
Yes.
Like,
oh my God. Yes.
Easy.
TikTok,
And it would grow exponentially because like these little things, like people are not understanding. Like if I did a video where I was doing a hot wings challenge or some shit like that, right? And I decided to rap over the hot wings challenge, people would watch it because they want to see how I'm dealing with the spice. But at the same time, I could use that to market my music. And people are not taking it as a marketing level where they're kind of like, how do I create a viral video? Because the idea of viral videos is so clutch right now when it comes to either TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. How do you get shared? I need to get shared. I need one person to share the video 10 times to 10 different people. I can't have it where I release a video, everybody shares it that one day or the first couple of 3 days, and then it dies. Viral videos continue to prosper because they continuously get shared. And they get picked up by other venues.
Virality is interesting. I'm not like as sold as virality as a strategy personally, but I understand where you're coming from.
It's hard to capitalize on.
No, but it's hard to actually capitalize on. So you get your viral moment. Right. The views, AdSense are not going to pay you. Trust, it's not as good as anyone thinks. So when everyone's trying to get monetized on YouTube, I'm like, bro, 8,000 views paid me $25. Just do some math. It's not amazing money.
But take somebody like Dogface. Dogface, you remember him who did the video where he was rolling down on a skateboard, just drinking some cranberry juice, listening to a song, and it went super viral, bro.
So
you don't remember this?
Actually, no, not this one. I kind of maybe, but when you're saying this, it may because I liked what you said about basics. So I'm more interested in how the WWE does shit. So if you think of that Extreme Championship belt, the one that was 24/7, right? Yeah. That shit was like glue. You never knew when was going to happen. And imagine that in a Twitter era. Now you could just be sitting there, a motherfucker gets tackled. I think this did happen. Gets tackled in like the dépanneur. Fucking belt changes over in real time. So when I'm thinking about this, I'm going, let's take TikTok. How do we maybe not worry as much about going viral, but how do we get a bunch of random people who are not connected to the music industry in Montreal to want to pay attention to us like we're a bunch of wrestlers on a roster? And I feel like if that's kind of why I'm doing some of this shit is to, create that lore. Like literally the homeboy Ismail is now just saying Logan underneath Cool Man Logan shit. Because that's one of my objectives is to make random people yell out, Cool Man Logan at like Cool Man Logan. If like a random stranger does that to him one day, I achieve my objective.
Okay. And that's fair. That's perfect. And it's a good way to market. And I really think, WWE had it right in my opinion.
And I think that
they knew how to make a story.
Yeah.
And the story got sold.
And I think we as like people in this city need to treat the relationships we have with each other almost more like that. Like, right. Because everyone likes to rap about the silos and talk about how there's crabs in a buckets and everybody's blah, 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 blah. It's the same fucking boring ass motherfucking conversation. But like when you come to a solutioning angle, it's also like everybody wants to be a hero. And I'm like, So we can't all be the hero. Who gets the
Right.
title? Fine. In my squad, Cool Man Logan can have the heavyweight championship. I'll take Intercontinental. You know, like you gotta be willing to let somebody else be the big man kind of thing. And then like create this thing. Who can be the tag teams? Who can be this? And then we create our division. Yo, what if we build up and then next thing you know, it's like Crossroad DMS some shit and you got DMS just wrecks us because we're not fucking battle anything. But like, you know what I'm saying? And then like we create like other situations. I mean, I don't know, but like verses in like a battle way, maybe a song thing could happen. I don't know. But what I'm trying to say is like we create that and then like what? Isn't there like a whole Southwest thing? So fine, we're the alt Southwest. That's how I'm like, let's go with that. We're the other guys in the Southwest. That's
Okay.
like, so it's like also to like understand the perspective. Like, bro, I performed at motherfucking shows where like I'm the only guy like with my day job occupation style. That's the best way I could put it. And I know I'm rapping, and I know none of these motherfuckers want me there. And I'm like, this is not the right venue for me with the other 14 guys on this bill. So it's not a matter of good or bad. It's just that, yo, I can't bring my fans here and convert them. Like, it doesn't make sense. Whereas the synergy of, like, having like-minded artists in terms of core vision and fan base working together within respective camps, regardless of personal relationships with each other, is the move. So there's a lack of business intelligence where we can even talk about fucking
Right.
genres or just the number of rappers. Okay, just the number of rappers is up for fucking debate. Anyway, that's how you
I
solve
remember
these
I performed
issues.
at shows with you.
Did you?
A long time ago? I'm thinking maybe like probably 10 years ago, where you would come to the shows dressed in a full suit.
Yes, that would have been
It would be a
2012
totally
or
different vibe. I'd be like, what's he gonna do today? But then you come there and you do that old school underground hip hop, and I'd be like, okay, Holden's doing it though. I remember those shows,
Yeah, that's it.
and it was like, I remember those shows where we were doing like with different artists doing different sounds, but for some reason, it all coalesced to a certain extent,
Yeah,
and it felt good.
those ones those weren't the ones I was thinking of. That vibe,
Okay.
that I don't remember who was doing. I know Dobsky was involved in that and a few other people.
Dobsky, yep, 100%.
Those dudes were like doing some shit right, in my opinion. That was a good vibe. To be fair, a lot of things changed in the city after that, and it's a bigger conversation. Mostly venue wise, like a lot of venues changed by like 2015, 2016. The biggest reason I couldn't get people to go to shit, like take a hip hop karaoke, so something that's like a variable where I used to be able to get
Exactly
people
where
to
I
go.
first knew you from.
Straight
I
up.
knew you from Jasmine back when she was doing hip hop karaoke. Jasmine Tagard, she was doing hip hop karaoke,
Shit.
and you were one of the performers. Yeah.
Damn, man, nobody remembers shit. That's so flattering and cool. But like,
But yeah, venues. Go ahead.
yeah. So take Belmont, $20 rum and coke pitcher, bro. That sentence sold tickets. Nothing I did sold the ticket. That sentence sold the ticket. How do you recreate
Right.
that?
Right.
I don't know how to recreate that. I also don't know how to deal with weed. These are other issues. Yo, because then you have the other side. Motherfuckers go outside and smoke joints for 15 minutes.
Bro, I'm tired of going to a show where I got 10 artists performing, right? And people will come to see that one artist that they came to see, and then after that they go outside. There's another artist performing 2 seconds later. Literally 2 seconds later. They're not there for the show, and that's another part of the issue. What I find with the scene is like, even if you're trying to grow on one of those venues where you have 10 artists, you'll perform and then everybody will leave, and then you have half the venue packed at that point because people went outside to go chill with the person they came to see.
But it's because it's, to me, not necessarily culturally driven so much as fiscally driven. From a promoting angle. I'm not trying to talk all you promoters out there, this is a no beef situation because whatever, but like I don't feel like it was back to that. Like it's a, like Montreal as a cultural stamp, saying Montreal doesn't create like the subcultures that we should be rallying behind. Like there's the street shit, there's the R&B shit, there's the fucking party shit, there's the geeky shit, there's the this shit. So like all of these different little sub lanes need to be identified and shows built around the squads that make sense. Plus, if you look back to like the golden era of like back when Blast and them were doing it, there was also a degree of like regularity to the performers. So like you would see,
An eye black?
yeah, like 2008, 2010-ish, like that era, right? It would be the same people at the same shows over and over again, so you could get attached to names. And that's another thing I find that is lacking. Like, I can't follow a person. It's just so random.
Right. Yeah, exactly. We take whatever opportunity is there, and then what happens is you're just a name on a card, where it used to be kind of like, this is the group that you're going to go see, and they have these artists that you like to enjoy as well. And so all of them would go to this venue, you follow them to those venues. Whereas now it's kind of like, oh, who wants to perform my venue? It doesn't matter who you are. Can you sell the tickets? If you sell the tickets, then you can come perform. And then that's what happens is people just go there for whatever it is, you know?
Yeah. I don't know. I think post-COVID, we'll see how it all goes. I know that I'm going to enter the foray and do my own thing. And it's very much just going to be whatever the fuck I want to do. I'm not really worried about if it works or not, as long as it builds the bigger vision. That's all that matters to me about that. And I don't want to charge artists. That's the only thing that matters to me, that I don't charge my artists. Whoever am I. If anything, I want to pay my artists. Even if it's $25 on some symbolic shit. Because, bro, I'm not rich. All right, let's go back to your story, though, a little bit. Because as much as I love the Montreal conversation, and I do, it's like a big puzzle to me. I do think things are shifting positive. I do want to give love to the 20-year-olds in the West Island that are Instagram group chatting their way to success. And the youth, I think.
Really?
Yo, dude, the youth, if anyone ever go on Instagram, nobody's on Insta, they would see things like All-Star Montreal, which is hosting these tournaments, putting musical acts together. They would see that the youth have transcended genre lines and don't give a fuck about traditional shit. So it's kind of like, I make music. Like, there's so many things like that where I'm like, yo, I want my 20-year-olds with me. You know, like, I'm trying to find them. Because, yo, I'm done. And that's another thing. Whoever the star of Montreal is going to be is 20. Not 30-something. I'm sorry.
Bro, don't say I aged out. Don't say I aged out.
Not to be just, you can be underground legend. You can be like mad paid, but the Drake is going to be 20.
Yeah. The reason why Drake is because it's 10 years of success that got continuously built up.
Yeah. And
I can't wait till I'm 40 to get to Drake level, you know?
No, but even to that end, like, a lot of us have the potential to pave a lot of ways. And yo, bro, I think a lot of us can make 6 figures, like, clean. I think
easy.
I think nobody's making millions in the future of music. Not like it used to be. It doesn't make sense. Like, mathematically, it's going to have to go down a model where a lot more people make money, but people make less money inherently at the super celebrity level.
Right. There's just too many people. It's just become so easy to make music and put out music out that it's just like, if you're going to make money off of it, there's 1,000 other people that are doing the same thing. So if you can still figure out how to market that and make money off of it, great. And you can make 6 figures easy. But I don't think we're going to get to the point. There is always that 1% that's making those $1 million.
Yeah.
And I think we're diluted also in our idea of making $1 million. Every artist wants to be the biggest artist in the world. You can still do music and be classified where you're making $100K a year off of your music. And classified still dope.
Bro, if I made $100K off of my music, guy, I would consider myself a fucking royalty. Dude, that's the dream. $1 million.
Easy.
$1 million has eyes on you like I don't know that I 100% want. 100K does not have eyes on you. You're just living nice. You get a home and shit, but you're also a rapper on tour, which is blessed.
That's your job. Do you understand? You still go to work. Not even, you don't have to be at work every day, but you go there and you do what you love, and you still make 100K. Where you got your house, you got your kids,
that's profit. The rap pays for itself. Oh my fuck! It just the rap paying for itself. Shit. But I think that's coming. There's a huge shift that a lot of people missed, and it's the shift to subscription away from retail. So people got to stop trying to sell music and sell subscriptions.
Bro, little thing like Gary Vee, this little, or not even Gary, Eric Thomas. Eric Thomas had this idea of, and I doubt it's his idea, but it was this idea of like find your craft, perfect your craft, and then give away your craft. If you give it away,
then people are going to digest it far easier than if I'm at my level right now, which a lot of Montreal artists do, where I'm at my level right now and I'm trying to sell my albums or something like that. Bro, if I just gave out my albums, invest a little bit, gave it out, people listen to it, they really love the shit. And then after that, I can build off of that love. But if I start selling too early because I want to make the money first.
Preach it. Just keep preaching this good shit.
Stop trying to make the money first. It'll come if you build the fan base. The fan base is what you really want.
And then
I want exposure.
Don't try to sell your fan shit as the future. Just have the Patreon open. Just have the Twitch option open. And you know what?
T-Pain.
People
T-Pain
will subscribe. I mean,
100%.
I'm not saying I'm making bank, but on a psychological front, there are people who have paid me monthly for years. For years. Like, what?
That's enough.
Like, what? That's like, yo, you can't take that from me. That's the kind of shit it feels like. That's not views. That's not all the metrics people care about. That's a metric I want more of. I care way more about, like, because, yo, I'm into community building, like in a day job kind of way. And, like, yo, there's so much more value in having 100 dedicated people than having 10,000 people who just don't give a shit.
Bro, 100 people that'll pay $20 is way more than having, say, the maximum 5,000 people that wouldn't pay $1 to your thing, you know? Which is crazy. Facebook, like, you can have 5,000 followers, 5,000 friends, and a lot of them are just there.
You rapped about Facebook friends and Insta friends a lot.
I have this old song, like Social Butterfly, on SoundCloud. It was this idea of, like, how we so crave that attention in order to make us whole or whatever. But, like, it's not genuine. None of this shit is genuine. I honestly can release something where I think people are going to love it. And I'm going to have, like, I got over 1,000 followers. I'm going to get 1,000 views minimum, right? But it's not like that.
No.
The algorithm does not work like that. And also, people are not following like that. You'll have people that are following you just because they like your statuses. You'll have people, and I just feel like a lot of it is just ingenuine. But again, I'm not going to shit talk Facebook.
Well,
I love all my Facebook fans, whoever they are.
Yo, I got to give all love to the people that follow me because of my statuses. At first, I was a mindfuck.
I mean, statuses to a certain extent are getting into deeper of who I am than some of my music, you know?
But, like,
so I do appreciate followers based on statuses more than I do.
Well, I mean, I appreciate...
Not more than I do about my music.
I appreciate all the people who fuck with me in the different ways they do because there are definitely different ways people fuck with me. But the ones that are one of my biggest, I guess, population groups of invested users is my Facebook rants. And they don't care about a lot of my other things. They just want the Facebook. And I'm like, that's weird to me. But then I thought about it for a long, long time. And I said, oh, they like me. I was like, that's dope. You know, like, it just took forever to get there.
Just like you as a person, which is I think the real genuineness of it.
But it took
I think if you can grow a following based on who you are, you're following based on who you are, way better. That's a solid following. That's a following that follows you whether you're doing music. Like, to be honest, I want to do music, but I would really like to transition more into acting.
No shit.
Doing both. I'd probably do like a Will Smith. I'd go Will Smith the route, you know, probably do music, make money off of music, and then after that, take that to a different platform. And those people that support you as a human are the ones that are going to follow you through that transition or journey, which is what I really appreciate, you know?
Yeah, that's facts. I mean, you do make good music, though, but I can see you pulling off acting. You have the whole, like, look and everything. You got the little charm going on. I watched you in the video falling off that chair and everything.
The whole idea of the Happy For You video was to try to sell it as a movie, right? So we were trying to do... The only thing is that the problem with it is we had so many ideas and we only had 3 minutes and 30 seconds to complete it because the song was only 3 minutes and 30 seconds. You know?
I like that.
Ideally, we would have extended the song, extended the video, and then made like a full length thing. Kind of like Kanye West did with Runaway, which was great, you know?
It was great, but I kind of liked that you didn't extend it and it was just like nice. It just was the song and it like fit.
Let me ask you something though. When you watched it, did you hear the song? When I first watched the video, I couldn't hear the song at all because there was so much to digest in what we had initially put out.
So I had heard the song prior. So I guess that is worth mentioning. I heard it when you dropped the audio version. so I'd heard it. And then, so yes, I heard it, but I was like used to it. And then I was, again, my focus is always going to be on the music more than the video. So it was more like the video kept my attention more than I thought. But yeah, I absolutely heard the song, and I thought that it accompanied really well. But like even on TV, I follow a score more than I give a shit about like the visuals.
I love a movie that has the perfect soundtrack. There is something about having a song that attaches to an emotion that's being acted out that just really fucking does it well, which is what I hate about videos where you have a song that is not fitted towards, like, it'll just be a dude rapping in front of a car. Nothing about what you're talking about fits what it is. So Joyner Lucas, one of the things that I like about his stuff is his stories match the videos 100%. Of course, he's transitioning to more radio, but if you've gone through his stuff like I'm Sorry, which is one of my favorite Joyner Lucas songs, the visual is what really sold the audio for me. And that's what I really want to do with my music, to make it where the visuals are kind of like the full complement of the song.
Yo, that's serious. Like my whole approach is like, oh, I have to do music videos. Like it's not.
Oh, okay.
It's not that I want to do music videos. I'm busy trying to do all these fucking off the dome mixtapes and great free. I'm not gonna fucking film a single visual for one of them. I'm just gonna put them all out and then like fucking.
Full disclosure: this song was written 6 years ago. I wrote this song when I was 25, 26 maybe, and we realized as a team that we were not going to be able to push forward with the entire thing unless we dropped a video.
That's a smart choice.
So then we were like, oh, we'll just sit on it. We'll sit on it. Hopefully, and what I'm hoping that the sound still carried through, because I was heavily listening to Chance the Rapper back then. And so the sound was very curtailed around what he was back then. But now it's kind of, I feel like we've transitioned to a different sound. I'm very much looking forward to going forward with music and seeing what I sound like now. But it was really the video tied to that entire thing.
Yo, that's super unexpected. I thought it was just like fresh sounding. Yo, what people don't understand is how good that year was, that era. Because
that era was so perfect.
I had this EDM project that Peter West gave me 2014 beats on. And everyone tells me these beats slap today like they were fucking the fire. I'm like, bro, it's 2014. Vince Price gave me a fucking 2014 beat. Shit slaps so hard today. Next man's 2014, 15. I'm like, what the fuck? Why does this era sound so good? And these are all Montreal dudes.
They really had it. They had it. They understood it back then. There was a vibe. There was a clear sense towards the vibe of music. I feel in the 2000s, 2010s, it was really just proper. So for me to get like where it is back then versus where it is now, I'm not going to hit on whatever's going on right now. I feel like the music's still proper.
Yeah, the young people are driving music forward. I think you'd be surprised at how much, because they're really melody-centric, into the soulless shit.
Melody-centric, right.
They also, I watched this kid on an interview. He's like fucking, I don't know, 20, some shit. And he was making fun of lyrical rappers. And he was like, bro, how does it take you 50 fucking words to say what I can say in a sentence? And I'm like, whoof, mic drop.
Ouch.
And I'm
ouch, though.
And I'm like, he's got a point. What does lyrical mean? What does it mean?
Wait a minute, though. I mean,
rock music can say a whole lot in 8 words. And that's banging.
Because it catches the vibe. It catches the vibe, and exactly... Like I took a creative writing course at some point, and we had this entire thing where we had to write prose, right? So they were like, take what you're writing right now and cut it down to half. You're saying so many things that are extra. Just write the entire story, but cut it in half. And I feel like if you could really figure out how to do that, you can say a line that would hit just as poignant as a sentence would, or a paragraph. Why write a paragraph when you can write a sentence?
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard. Brevity is a weird concept, but I'm really fascinated by it. So when I write, I play with it more. When I'm off the dome, I don't give a shit. But when I write, I really like think a lot about that now, and I'm like, yo, maybe I should just rap less.
Rap less.
Like in the song, but not like like I did a 3.5 minute verse. It took me 4 hours till I could one take it. Nobody cared. that was a huge epiphany. I started thinking about the return on effort, like the return on investment based on effort put in, and I realized, I mean, I don't know if that makes the most sense for me at this time of my life to do that if nobody wants to hear me do that, you know, like. But then I could go lose weight, motherfucker, and people are like, yo, that's so good, and I'm like,
I want to lose weight, and then that's the entire thing. You know, you just catch that one sentence that people really connect to.
yeah,
You can have an entire song based on one sentence.
yeah, and then do what you want. But to me, I like to write songs like essays. When my chorus is a thesis statement, and then everything else is to expand on the argument.
Okay. You have always been in like some type of essay writing thing, you know?
Yeah, that's how I do it. And then you just need to come up with an idea that you can have 3 paragraphs about.
Okay, so your intro, body, conclusion type of thing.
Honestly, if you really go look at a lot of my music in the past, it's super like that. Maybe not obviously, but kind of, yeah. Or at least 3 topics that I can expand on, or ways to approach it. Because almost everything had 3 verses for a long time, right? We used to do 3 verses.
I'm finding a difficulty with writing more than 1 verse. I feel like I could really get what I want to say out in 1 verse and a hook. So when I get to the second verse, I'm like, well, the story's been told. I already wrote it in the first one. How do I elongate the story? Because I feel like 1 verse and 1, but maybe that might be the new venue where it is right now, because attention spans are getting shorter. People really want their information quick. If I could write a song where I just did a hook and a verse,
Yeah.
and then released like an entire album where I did like a minute and a half.
Yo, some of these mixtape shits is really short. I like them, but it's also,
I like what Kanye was doing when he was doing 7-song albums.
those were good, but I don't think you should worry about attention spans. I think that's not the focus. People who are interested in you are interested in you, and thus will consume your content over great periods of time. You may not like the fact that we're not as interesting as we want to be, which is, I think, what's more happening than the attention span true thing. Because, Marvel Universe, that's my new answer. Explain the Marvel Cinematic Universe if nobody has an attention span. Please. Those movies are
impossible.
Far too long.
Impossible. People will watch from beginning to end.
Explain a Maxim Turk fucking Facebook thread if nobody has attention spans. I don't know if you've ever seen one.
Is that a shot?
No,
is that a shot?
It's all love. What he does with social media is praise. It is praise.
He's a genius. To be honest, when he does it, he does, because I really think
it's also a really good fucking case point, because people will be glued to it for 4 hours as it plays out. I mean, you're talking a large number of people focused on his Facebook status as it drops out like that. Doesn't make sense if no one has attention spans. You know what I mean?
Facts. Yeah. It's really just figuring out what is the attention. People love drama. So the minute that Chrome posts a status that might be a little bit on edge, we're dying to see what the response is going to be.
Yeah, but he can do it with really innocuous shit. He'll be like, bro, I fucking saw the sports fight. I think he's just interesting. Whether or not people like him is not the point. He just captures interest really fucking well. So, because, bro, I've seen 100 statuses on some dumb shit. And I'm like, y'all really care about this? And I'm watching it, and I'm like, I guess people really do care about it. And I'm a bit of a weirdo. Fair.
My thing is, he's really good at figuring out how to poke your buttons. Because I decided one time to reply to what he posted. And he knows how to reply to the extent that you're like, wait a minute, didn't I say some shit that made sense? But he'll argue it in a way that he's arguing against it, and you're like, no, I can't let it end here. I can't let him make that point. I know my point makes more sense.
Battle rapper logic. This is some shit. I think it was Jay Smooth I was talking to who pointed it out. It's the way battle rappers rationalize bars. He's exceptionally good at this, which means he must think in a particular way. It's very similar to writing stand-up comedy, and comics also do the same thing. Go watch a local stand-up comics Facebook post will often go in the same direction very often. And I think it has something to do with the argument focusing so much on the semantics. And he's extremely good at that. And I love it. I'm really a fan of semantic debate. I know how to remain neutral with him in terms of my responses. I know exactly how to word my shit. And then the only time it ever exploded, I have to give him the points. They were attacking him unfairly. And it was like, no, you guys are actually attacking him as a human. And I didn't agree with him, but I don't have to agree with him. He's clearly on the other side of the political fence of me. So I acknowledge that. And what am I going to do? I'm not going to make him more left. And he's not going to make me more right. Point for now. I can just fuck with that and there. It doesn't need
My
to
thing
be
is
more.
that I don't think he's that right or left.
He's righter than me in the spectrum.
Definitely righter than you. Or righter than me even. When I was arguing against him, I was like, okay, obviously we're on different spectrums. But I honestly think that he knows exactly, and he did say this in one of his statuses. He said, I honestly do this in order to gain more perspective on what it is. He does this so that he can get the other perspective, but he'll never back down on this point.
When I was his age, God, y'all would have hated me. I'm gonna throw it out there. I don't know what he'll be like at my age. I know I'm older than him. So what the fuck am I doing judging a guy that is easily 7 years younger than me with the same level of response that I would put on myself? That's stupid. That's just ridiculous.
You dare ask how old Holden is?
33. Born in 87. But he's younger. I know he's younger because like he was in that younger crowd.
I don't think he's that much younger.
I think he's like late 20s. Late 20s? Yo, when I was 27, the level of shitheadery that I said on the internet, the way that I fucking... I would have caught so many Facebook jail bans. Didn't exist back then. And then I learned. I had some people really say some shit that was like, you're right, but you could have said it different type things. And then I realized there's a lot more money in politics if you word everything different. And I decided I wanted to be rich more than I wanted to be right.
Ooh, okay.
But like, that was my early 30s. Okay, like, so I have to like take into account, like, I might have all of my maturity and understanding now, but bro, I seen people like way older than him like come at him like come on, fuck on. I guarantee you at his age he was not being this, like let him grow up on his own. Like I guarantee you that guy's a force. But it doesn't matter, he's gonna be there. He's still there. Right. He was there when I started. I remember I hit stages with him once upon a time, and he wasn't bad. He was good back then.
He's dope. He's a great rapper. I've done songs with him before.
I saw it. There's the one that you have on it. Like, I just remember him being good. I don't remember a fucking thing about the songs. I just know he was good. He was one of the names I remembered and was like, no, that guy's got something. So like that's why I just want to emphasize, because I brought him up. It wasn't to like get his name on clout even. It was just he's so good at capturing attention. He's proof that people have attention spans.
Yeah. And also shout out to the Glock Party podcast.
Yeah.
It's something to watch.
Support English fucking media. That's just the facts of this shit. Y'all want to see a scene? Support anything that's English media here. I don't give a fuck if you like it. I don't give a fuck if it's your shit. You'll see me share a lot of English media. Why? I'm English media. Call it selfish, but like we build the culture by supporting the English shit because we're English people in Montreal.
Wait a minute, Quebec? English? What?
Nobody's going to do it for us, right?
100%.
That was a big one. Yo, it's to the point where all the NDG politicians are down to come do interviews.
Yeah, you doing one with what's his name?
Matthew Kerr.
Nope.
I'm doing one with nothing else is locked in, but Balarama Holmes has agreed to do it.
There you go, Balarama Holmes.
Sue Montgomery has agreed to do it. Agreed. Yeah. I think they're gonna wait till see one. Then we're gonna see what happens.
Listen, I've heard Balarama Holmes speak. Very poised, super good.
Dude, I talked to one of them.
I really hope that he gets as far as he gets.
I talked to one of them.
They were touting him as the new Barack Obama.
He's touting himself as the new Barack Obama.
Okay, well somebody was touting him.
I think I saw it on his Twitter. I don't know anything about him, but that's the thing is we're English in Montreal. And I could not tell you a fucking thing about an NDG politician, my guy.
Okay.
I know Sue Montgomery has scandals. And I know the guy before did well at the snow emergency.
Bro, I'm Côte St. Luc now, which is why I was like, bro, I need to go to the NDG is like 2 seconds away. That's why I thought the thing was happening in your place. Oh,
yeah, no, I just honestly nobody wanted to come here.
I got my first shot, bro. My arm hurts still.
No, I meant like prior to COVID.
I feel you.
I was begging for like months, and then I just started doing them on Zoom, and everybody showed up, and everybody was like, I don't have to leave my crib, and then they got longer, and then they got more relaxed. And I'm like, because even if you were here, everyone's watching the time more. I don't know why, because we did do some here, and then we did them all over Zoom, and I don't know, like it's okay. It's not 100% the same, but it's very close. Also, if you're that close, we should link up stills at some point.
Bro, you're like probably like 3 blocks away. You understand? Like, I'm on the cusp of Code St. Luke. You know?
Yo, straight up, I'm on Fielding, Rosedale.
Bro, you're 4 blocks away.
Straight the fuck up. We should make this area posse because there's an X-Man's in it too, and he's doing a documentary. So like, shut up, JS, no regard. No, for real. Like, I'm really fat because there's all these people here, and we're all like neighborlies. And back to this Montreal shit. Shouldn't we all be linking up and doing local shit, whatever that means?
We're not connected enough. We are not. Montreal's not. And there's that whole, like, we haven't yet hit that stride, right? So there's kind of like this idea of everybody's in competition. They want to be the first one to make it. And so what happens is they won't bring somebody up with them. They will not put somebody else on the map. I'll take like Mac Miller, Tree J TV. Am I talking the right thing?
Say
Mac Miller had a partnership with Tree J TV.
Okay.
All his videos were released through Tree J TV. So that's hard to pronounce. Say that 10 times fast.
Tree J TV. Tree J TV. Tree J. Okay, I'm
Okay,
kidding.
you killing it. Okay, you smart. You. Anyways, like, it was that partnership that made it so that all the videos really catapulted both the company as well as Mac Miller. And I feel like Montreal doesn't have that bond where we're like, this is an artist that I want to invest in. Everybody wants to make the money, and the money is not going to come until somebody makes it, and that's just what it is.
I like how focused you are on the money. I'm focused on money too, but like for a different reason. I have a pretty decent day job. Decent, not great. I feel like I could do better, but I also don't think I could live my life and do better. So you have to take some compromises. But I realized, like, I have gear. I have opportunities. Now my COVID hit the family income, we'll call it. Like, so it's not, like, nice. But still, I didn't have to stop. I was able to keep... I'm giving out 100. I don't kind of afford it great, but I'm doing it tomorrow. Like, this shit, right? Now, not a lot of people, I think, have reached a position in the stability and the foundation of their life where without art, they can do things.
Listen, man, I'm gonna tell you straight. I make a decent amount of money. I'll say straight up, I make like 43K. I can't tell you what company because I signed a non-disclosure agreement.
Straight up.
But 43K should put me off really well. My thing isn't really about making money. I feel like once you gain exposure, you make money. I don't find Montreal has a way to scale.
Well, scaling requires a lot of people who make enough money comfortably. So that's where I'm going with it. Now, what I mean is, I know a lot of people who are looking to, I feel like people want to make money on their music too fast. Kind of back to what you're saying. But because...
Don't care about the money. Exactly.
But because they don't have the stability and the regularness of a job that is secure or a security, like, listen, I can just do this for 6 years because I'm going to be employed for 6 years. So I'm never going to starve over my art. And I know that's like a weird thing, but like I've never been a starving artist, so I don't understand that reality, and I don't want to ever understand it. I've always been I have a job artist. And like I rap about this a bunch in different tones, but like I think that like a lot of people take very low paying jobs based on XYZ reason and don't actually go out there and get a bag and get their money up, as all the rappers say to do. And
it's just so crazy because it costs so much to come up.
But then it's like, I saw you work with Makeway. That means that there's a degree of premium that goes into that, and it's worth paying the premium. I mean, I like to not pay the premium and work around it on some DIY shit, but it's also like I'm not a glossy artist. It was a creative style choice more than anything else. But there's a whole lot of people that, like, I found out are not down to fiscally support their beat makers, fiscally support their videographers, fiscally support the humans on their team that they require. So they're willing to put money into ads. A lot of money goes into ads. But think about who gets that money. Not Montreal. Okay, maybe DMS is Montreal, so whatever. Fine. If you're going to pay ads into Montreal, I'm not hating on you in this context. But, like, in a lot of ways, Spotify playlist promoters, fucking random things, shit like that. Like, I don't know. It just seems like, yo, why don't you like find a beat maker that is just gonna make you beats and pay that guy?
Bro. And I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this straight because I feel like as far as an artist, we're different. An artist has to pay a videographer. We have to pay a beat producer. We have to pay for everything out of pocket until we get to a point where we're making money. All of those people make money the minute we pay them.
Yep.
I have no guarantee that my investment into my own art is going to return on investment. They have all of that. So once they buy the equipment, they make money off of the equipment easy. As an artist, how do I make money off of my stuff? And so I feel like it's a different thing for an artist when we have to invest into all of these different pockets that we have to do, and then we're never getting it back. So yes, I feel like we should support beat producers. We should support videographers. But like when I'm getting charged like $2K for a video,
Bro, I'd
or
never
I'm
pay
getting
2K
charged
for a video.
$300 for an exclusive beat,
Man.
and you know,
So I think that that's an interesting point. One of the things I like, because if I talk to the beat maker, the conversation's different. I'm like, rappers be broke.
100%.
I'm like,
beat makers hate when you say, bro, I will take I'll give you exposure, but I don't have exposure. To be honest, most artists that say I'll give you exposure, even though I don't have it, they're asking for a song that's going to make zero,
honestly,
like 300 views.
What
does a beat producer make on 300 views from Montreal?
I just offer them less money than they should probably have, but I like to offer money. Like if the guy charges 200, maybe he'll take your 50.
Or maybe you can not get an exclusive.
Nah,
you can pay $20 and get like a lease, but I don't like leases personally.
But it's also like relationships. At this juncture of my career, and I say this is the crazy shit in my life right now, somebody sent me 5 beats in my email that are just mine. Somebody else wants to take me away to a cabin to bang out a whole mixtape. I have beat makers coming out my ass throwing beats at me.
Damn.
On some relationship shit. Because I put in a lot of work and I created So artists could also flip the script a bit. So the one thing I would say in defense of like everyone else, and this is just because of who I am and how I chose to promote my art, is in a sense is this is my big part of my promotion strategy. Provide value beyond your art. And this is something I find a lot of artists choose not to do on some prima donna shit. I don't know how else to put it. It sounds like that to me. Like, I don't mean it in a hater shit. I think there are a lot of artists that need to just be artists, and I fucking love them, but then go find a boss, a manager, and let them go be the other side of that shit. So if you want to be an artist, which I've seen a few of, you need a manager, or you're not even a real artist because you're never going to do that shit. But the other side of it is, like, you also need to be kind of, if you're, like, an adult, go look at Royce the 5'9" podcast. This guy, podcast. That guy, podcast. That guy, CEO of a fashion company. That guy, they're not just rappers. Not one of them.
You need to diversify, for sure.
They're all more than just being a rapper. So it's like, I feel like a lot of them created an avenue to provide value to their peers. I can offer interviews and shit. That creates value. Now all of a sudden my position in the city is different. Whereas prior to this, I was just a rapper. There's a dime a dozen. Right? So, I mean, it isn't monetizable to just, in a lot of ways, put out a track. But if you can make yourself a brand and create a whole following based on vlogging, based on acting, maybe you make shorts, all of a sudden you could be, like there's just value beyond the one.
I'm going to say this, though. A lot of the times it's ego driven. I'll say that, like, I'm not a very egotistical person. But to a certain extent, I know what my potential is. And a lot of people sell themselves based on what they believe their potential is. So they're like, I'm a great artist. I should be charging this, this, and that. But you're not. You have not proven the greatness. Like for me, I think I'm great, right? But I have
probably...
Your
voice is actually pretty fucking great.
But I feel like I have 4 songs that are actually out there. If people were literally to look up my name, they would say, well, this guy's nobody. He's got nothing. But I'm like, oh, but you haven't heard the songs I haven't released yet. And of course they haven't. But in my brain, I'll be like, bro, I'm fucking dope. Why are you not investing in me? And a lot of people don't understand that the work has to be out there. You have to continuously put out the work. You need to build a catalog. You need to build it to a point where people are going to follow you based on...
You need to build a community more than a catalog.
Not what you think you built. A lot of people build it in their brain, and then they'll say, why are you not fucking with me?
Well, they
And there's even
also
old vets that will be like, yo, why are you not paying me for this, this, and that? Well, is your brand really right now making this, this, and that?
yo,
I
like what you're
understand
saying.
you're this talented. I understand you've done this, this, and that in your past. What are you doing right now? And what makes you relevant towards what the stage is in this era?
I like all the things you're saying. Definitely interesting. I like how much you've thought about this. I don't know who you've talked to in the last while. I don't know what the conversation. People don't hit me
I'm
up.
not naming names. I'm not naming names.
Nobody hits me up like that because I think everybody knows I'm not going to pay anybody for anything. Like I just think people are aware of the fact that I'm just not going to. In fact, when I hit up a fucking like a Merc or Miyagi or one of them, one of the first things I tell them is I'm probably never going to use your services.
Okay.
Well, then it's cool. We're just people now. I'm
But
not.
Mercury charges a super fair fee for.
But Matt, who's my guy,
Okay.
charges less than everybody in the city on some he's my guy shit.
Okay, that's fair.
And I pay him monthly. We have our deal. I get beats out of him. So it's like everybody else, I would be doing you a favor almost. You know, it's not like I don't need it. And then videos,
Right. I have
bro.
this that work.
We shoot them on this is my camera, my guy. I'm good. We doing it. Homegirl
honest,
edits.
Have you ever seen Nate Husser's video for St. Catherine?
Yes.
He filmed the entire video on an iPhone.
It's amazing.
Super dope video. Do I even need your services if I was really to figure out the craft of what I have here?
If you are willing to video edit and learn and be patient with it, you do not need to pay the motherfuckers. I don't need to pay you to film. I need to pay you to edit. I know that.
100%. Editing is the key.
So I'm not an editor. I am so blessed that homegirl edits my shit up until she can't. I don't know when that comes, but it's been a free ride for a minute, and we just home people. Again, it's all relationships. You know how to tell you to like go out and meet people and build relationships? That's it. That is all that changed in my life. Is I stopped being like a fucking cocky loner, and I just recognized that, well, frankly, Travis Bryant is outperforming me in NDG in every conceivable metric. So I cannot be the best in NDG as long as he resides in NDG. So facts. Okay, it's easy now.
Travis Bryant? Who's Travis Bryant?
He formerly went by Fury.
Fury, okay.
And
Fair.
either way, his shit's popping. I like his music. He's got like this gorgeous song with the NDG video that makes old people happy. It's like, honestly, he does well. And I feel like he's one of the toppest artists in the neighborhood, and he's in my neighborhood. So it's like, well, I can't be walking around calling myself King of Indy. I can call myself maybe a prince. I'll take that, but I can't be a king because the motherfucker's doing better than me. He's doing it longer than me. He's outperforming me in any conceivable way.
Right.
So I've watched him come through, write shit in 7 seconds that was fire. Okay, like I'm like, okay, I'm not that good. I'm like, I'm not there yet. So like knowing that, it's easy. I'm not the best. Fucking simple. Easiest shit in the world.
In your city.
I want to be the best. I want to be paid.
Okay, so you're on the money tip as well. You're not necessarily on just exposure. I don't really want to just make it. I want to be able to make my music and do that for.
I just want to. Well, I have a vision in my head that involves paying a lot of people. So it's always in my mind, what can I do that will build up equity to get cash? But like, it's not like a materialism driven thing. I maybe need to make another $1,000 a month to be so comfortable I would never suffer. So that's really where I'm at in life. I don't require a lot. I don't care about cars. I need a nice bicycle and a lot of good weed. And I'm pretty fucking comfy, man. Like it's like we good. Like I don't need more. I got the music pipelines. Yo, bro, I can just now get fucking beats and music pinging out. Like what else can I need? That's how I look at it. Like I mean, vacations. That would be the real answer. But if I do my job right, that's a tax write-off on some music video shit.
Also, sorry for the glitchiness. I'm kind of like broadcasting through the matrix, so some of the things in the back don't look like my house, but it's still really my house.
Don't you worry about it. The Zoom matrix is real. We all been here.
Also, I just wanted to shout out one person that I feel like a lot of people don't shout out enough. Ill Vibe.
Oh shit. Okay.
Right? Ill Vibe has taken what we wanted to do as artists. You know, he has made what he does monetizable, and also created what you were saying, diversifying your income, where he made the lyrics vid with his wife. And they have taken it to levels that some of us artists can never take our music to, or have not taken our music to. I don't think all of us can take it where we want to take it. We just need to market it well. But Ill Vibes, shout out to Ill Vibes for really doing what it's taken to a different level, I would say, or a different venue that made him just crazy profitable.
Yeah, he's definitely profitable. I know a lot about his past. I don't know a lot about his present. I just know that he's one of the only guys that flexes on Twitter the way he does, and I'm like, fair enough. I met him one time. I just met him once. I was actually the first interview. Was with Meyer Clarity at the Heavy Ox studio in Toronto.
Meyer's dope. Meyer's dope.
Meyer's a homeboy. He's one of those guys that like I hit up a lot. We started like becoming friends, you could call it. It's a whole different thing.
I performed at a show that had you and Meyer at the same one. This is like literally 10 years ago. I'm not gonna like crazy shout out. I haven't performed often, but
absolutely 2012.
A long time.
2012, 2013. That was it. It was that era. 100%.
This was like way back. It was on the Mount Royal area. Mount Royal area.
My first show is June 2nd, 2012. So it couldn't have been before that. It has to have been after June 2012.
I didn't perform before June 2012, so 100% it was after that point.
Yeah, so like that's all. And it was good times, man. That was a cool energy. That was all organic, dude. I just got invited to shit. I never had to pay for anything really. It just was just like, yo, you were dope. I liked you. I want you to come to this thing. I'm like, yes. And I just said yes a lot. I ended up doing a Black History Month thing at Concordia. Right? Yeah. Yeah, it happened. I don't know. 2014. That's all I remember. Black History Month 2014. That shit happened. It was a real thing. And then the drink prices changed and the city died.
Which made venues just a little harder for people to go to. 100%.
Yeah, and then Court Air. It was all Court Air, honestly.
Court Air. October. Montreal, when it came to the hip-hop scene, I remember a lot of places cracking down. Even Piranha Bar, which used to be a great venue for music, shut down hip-hop.
I might have been a little bit a part of that. Yeah, but like here I can tell you one time about Piranha Bar. Spades and I do a show there. I'm not like whatever. I'm the host. I'm on the flyer. I think, or it's one of them. And all I remember is very early on in the night, somebody throws a drink in a girl's face.
Disrespect, bro.
And we're talking before the show has started. That's how early this went. This escalates into a 40-person brawl in front of Piranha Bar, which I missed because I'm inside the whole night. This is one show where I didn't even go outside one time to smoke because of my role or whatever. The only show. I missed the brawl. Cops come. Boom, 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 boom. So it's like, yeah, maybe they didn't like hip-hop as much after moments like that.
Maybe hip-hop disrespected the fucking scene. And it's possible. I have seen
I don't want to make a statement like hip-hop disrespected the scene. There was some shit that went on that I don't understand. I'm just saying that from a venue perspective, some shit went on that nobody understood. And it happened, and it made a bunch of people feel away. And a lot of times. And that shit, unfortunately, is bad for their business once upon a time. I just don't think that that's now.
No, I think we've changed. I think the culture has changed. I think the audience has changed.
Yeah.
Even if you take something as simple as like Le Cypher that used to go on, it had a different audience. It switched to a more posh audience prior to COVID, obviously.
Yo, Montreal went white collar. That's just the facts. Yeah. It's a white collar city now. Like
100%.
Montreal goes to office jobs and does office job shit.
Yeah. Yo, straight up, quick intermission. That's good.
Yeah, always.
I can hear it.
Yeah, I paused it, Golden Jenny, but thank you, Golden Jenny. Golden Jenny's from Norway, by the way. So that's right. It's my
Much
favorite.
love from Norway.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite sentences in an interview is Golden Jenny's from Norway. And then when you watch it back, you'll see Golden Jenny on the screen. And it's big fact. She's from Norway.
So I would rewatch this on Twitch.
Like, it'll be on YouTube in a week. I'll hit you up and be like,
Okay.
here's the edited version. It's technically on everything now, including Facebook, but it's the shitty version on Facebook. But you can watch it like right after this. As in, like, right after this. I'm not like saying you have to, but like, they're technically all there. I stream it to like my main Facebook and the Behind That Suit Facebook because, believe it or not, it kind of does have a teensy effort of getting people to come over and like pay attention to it. And it does a whole lot for letting people know I'm busy, and people like it when you're busy.
You're working hard. You're working hard.
Wow,
What does it say on your hat, bro? I've seen this hat so many times. All I see is finest.
it's Montreal's finest.
Okay.
So it makes
With a
sure.
kitty cat.
Yeah, it's the homegirl, the Alice's brand. So y'all can copy Montreal's finest at Montreal's finest 1985 on Instagram. When I started doing this, it was like, at least on the Twitch, and I had that, especially when I started having the opportunity to talk to like Iron Solomons and shit. I was like, it's fucking important to me that it says Montreal every time, somewhere.
Yep.
And I didn't have anything but the black version of this hat, which I had copped to show love, right?
Right.
And I love it because it's a pussy. Get it? Montreal's finest. We are known for that.
I know.
It's a cat,
I did not get what you were talking about there.
and then it's a cat, which Montreal loves. I'm sorry, but like everybody's a fucking cat person. I'm not really a cat person. I'm a neutral cat person because you can't be anti-cat in this city. It's not safe. It's not a safe time if you're against cats.
Not anti-cat. I'm just not more pro-cat over pro-dog.
I'm pro
I
dog.
think they're both good animals.
So you
They're
can,
they're-
but you
you
can't.
don't have a miniature Teckle, though. That's the thing. I have a miniature Teckle. That's an anxious dog. So I like him as a dog, but dude gets anxious when I leave the house. Cats don't do that. Cats,
No.
they're super chill when you leave the house.
No, but they're really fucking annoying a lot of times. Just a lot of times. So, like, 6 in the morning comes around if the door's open because, of course, the girlfriend wants the cats to be able to come in, cuddle.
Right.
But
You
at
can't
6
lock
in the
them out.
We do, because at 6 in the morning, the cat will get right up in your fucking face and meow. And I told her flat out, I told her, like, I want to be with you. So if I kill your cat, it will end our relationship. We must close the door.
You watch The Office?
Yes.
Okay, did you see the episode where Dwight killed the cat? It ended everything.
That's
It ended everything.
You can't get past that. You just can't get past that. But like, so basically, yeah, we have to close the door because the cat's a shithead. Or like, here's the thing. Like, the cat saw me this morning. I don't know why. I woke up at 5:30 for like a quick minute, and the cat meowed at me for 30 minutes because it thought it was good to get food.
It is a good time to get food.
For the
It's
cat.
just not a good time for you,
Yeah,
to be honest.
it's just not.
Yeah.
But I'm normal at 6:30. I might get up on a weekday, so it's fine, and I just feed the cat. But it doesn't know the difference. It doesn't know.
No.
So I'm not really a cat person, but I don't hate cats either. I'm neutral. But yeah, so that's why it was important because Montreal needs to be set. I talk to a lot of people not in Montreal, so it lets me kind of rep the city. And then I'll often drink from this.
Okay. You're not embarrassed at all.
I don't give a shit, dude. I haven't watched. I went to the Girard Park and they didn't watch the game.
I watched the game last night. I went to Place des Arts to try to watch it because they said they were hosting it at Place des Arts. We were dying, bro. It was painful.
I mean, I'm kind of grateful that it'll be over soon, if I'm being completely truthful with you, because
100%.
as like a non-hockey fan, which is basically because I realize what it is. So I'm standing in the park. There's 500 people, which was kind of nice. It looked a lot like people were trying to club at the hockey game, which was cool to see. But like the cheers when we scored made me feel real good. The boo made me feel really bad. I don't like that energy. And I realized
I was watching the game last night, and they were saying "fuck Las Vegas" or something like that, and that was their chant. And I was like, I'm not joining on this.
But
At
like,
all.
I don't want to be around that energy, to be honest.
Not
That's
at
what I
all.
realized. That's why I'm not that into sports, because of that side of it. Music can just be all love.
Yeah,
It
you can
can.
support every artist out there because it's not really competition.
Never.
It's only competition if you make it.
And even then, it's
Also, when we're talking
manufactured.
about-
It's
say
manufactured.
again?
It's manufactured competition. It's not even
100%.
real.
No,
But like the hockey shit's real. These motherfuckers are like really mad. You know, like not good.
also, when you were talking about race before, you were talking about Occupy the Hood?
No.
The ones they were doing in the parks, they were doing like these crazy parties in the park.
Oh, it was just the hot. It was
Adrian.
no. It was they've been doing all these hockey games in the park for like Girard Park for like this thing. These guys just set up like a projector and ran with it.
Or I'm going way back. I'm talking beginning of the interview. You were talking about parties in the park where they were doing like house music, EDM.
Oh, I don't know what it was. I just know that I saw this during COVID last summer on people's stories, and they were doing it at Jarry Park in the forest area. And the one time I went to Jarry Park, I saw it happening in real life, and it looked like I didn't go into the forest area, but it was like all out rave land. So I don't know who it was.
Shout out to Deep Afro Music. Great page to follow on Facebook. But also Occupy the Hood was one of the big parties that were happening back then. I think that's the ones that had Kate Tronada at one of their events.
It's possible. I didn't know who was doing it. I just have heard that Kate Tronada was involved in one of them, at least one. And I know that it was at Jarry Park, and I know that it was big people's, and I know that I saw a lot of people snitch themselves out on stories. And I was like disappointed with the snuff snitching.
So tired of people looking for clout on Instagram, bro. You're gonna get caught. It's
Yeah.
so easy.
Just post stories half naked of yourself. It is a much better way to get clout.
Easy. When I was watching the last time we won, the last time the Canadians won, they had this video of people pushing over a cop car. They couldn't push it over all the way, but they were filming themselves doing it. And I'm like, are you stupid, bro? Like, you're going to catch yourself. And that's the thing. Like, I don't remember being in this level of snitching myself out in order to look cool, which is just not smart to me.
Yeah, I saw a lot of it happen. I saw a lot of musician people do it. I don't know, maybe there's like a degree of like I'm rebellious that I don't fully empathize with as a person that is attractive to other groups of people, and that I'm not trying to tap into that. But I saw a lot of that through my rapper friends as they was at these events during COVID, and I'm like, fair enough. Y'all be doing that, and I was in my room, internet.
I was in my room.
I wasn't like fully alive back then, but honestly, my girl. So I made the dumbass fucking choice of telling my girlfriend, "Well, the government says we shouldn't hang out with people," one time, and she just got it in her head for the rest of COVID, until like for like 6 months, we're not hanging out with anyone. It's like I could have, but like you don't want to like it really bothered her, so I didn't for a really long time, like 6, 7 months, 8 months, whatever. Just nobody, just me and her, for like ever. No going anywhere.
How'd that go? Really, really well, I imagine.
It definitely put shit to the test. You have to like redefine lives and shit and figure it out. It's not simple because like you really come to be like, yo, absence really makes your heart grow fonder. And in no disrespect kind of way, but it almost is like, yo, let me go like not be home for 5 hours.
Just that simple 5 hours creates a different you know, there was like this Frank Ocean song where I listened to, and he was just like, you know, this like Saturdays involved us keeping separate and then keeping us self-aware of who we are, you know, like that whole idea of like, if you constantly stay with the same person, you guys are naturally going to coalesce into one person. But to a certain extent, if you keep a little bit of distance, they recognize who you are, you recognize who they are, and then you are two separate human beings, which is what love, in my opinion, is supposed to be, is that two separate human beings are recognizing who they are, loving who they are as separate people, and then coming together as one. But if you are constantly together as the same person, one of you is going to have to adapt to whoever the dominant person is in that relationship.
Big facts. And even to that end, even like it's just the idea of constantly being around the same person all day, every day is just gonna grate on anybody's. Yo, I have this theory where the number one reason couples break up in Montreal, in my anecdotal experience, is 3.5s.
Can you say that again?
Is 3.5s. They get 3.5s together, so you don't have any real.
What about 3.5?
Like sorry, the 1-bedroom apartments. So you have a living room, a bedroom, a kitchen. That's all you have. So you're either in the sleeping room, which in theory you're not supposed to do things but sleep in for good psychology reasons.
Right.
Or sex.
Right.
Sex is an acceptable use of that room. Don't get me fucking wrong.
I'd imagine you'd have to both be in the same room for that part.
Yeah. And then you have your living room, which is your everything else room. And then there's no other room. So if you're mad, it's like somebody has to go to like the fucking bedroom. And that's weird. Now it's tainted.
And one person has to stay in the entertainment room.
Which usually just means people is all crouchy and they like whatever. But yo, we have this whole extra room, the studio. So if we close the door. Or
it's perfect.
And then you get your space. You can cool off and be like, I'm sorry, I was a shithead. But you're not in the room where a little trigger could happen. And now nothing fight happens and it's bad news bears.
Have you ever watched Martin?
I don't think I did.
That's a long time ago. So Martin Lawrence used to have a show, and he was an actor on a podcast in the show. So he had like a radio show, and he would air out what his relationship issues were in the radio podcast. So one time he aired out his shit, and he talked shit about his woman, and things went super sour, bro. So sometimes that extra area where you can finally air out your things, be careful. Just be careful, bro.
Yeah.
It could get dark.
Yeah, I'm with that. But, I mean, well, I know whatever I say she's aware of. I don't say shit she doesn't know about.
I mean, it's not that you can't watch it. Twitch is so much easier to watch. They didn't have to be live back then. Back then they had to be live. Now you can rewatch everything.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm just like this. I'm super candid with her from jump. So, like, I'm just this. I find it just makes more sense to just be real about it. I also don't think I said anything bad. I trust I watch everything I say.
You've been pretty good, at least in this house.
Yeah, I never once with on wax like sell her out. Like I would not do that. That's fucking ridiculous. I might.
Wax it.
Yo, she will absolutely know if I'm saying some shit. She knows I'm gonna say some shit. Cause off cam we had a conversation and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go on the fucking internet with that. That's a real thing that happens, okay? So, trust, she knows. And then, like, she can hear me. She can literally hear every word I'm saying in the next room or whatever, because the walls are very thin. So, but, yeah, I would never, like, I don't think you should, like, publicly put your partner. You know what I can't stand if we're going to talk about relationship shits is when people throw shade in memes. Like, bro, or song lyrics. Like, you know who the fuck you're talking about, dude. You're not just posting those lyrics because you're not mad at your girlfriend.
You had me at memes. You lost me at song lyrics. I love a song that's so metaphorical that it could apply to anybody, but it also might apply to exactly who thought it applied to.
Okay, fair. But like, I see people do it to trigger their partners.
That's toxic as fuck.
This is the same thing as memes. So I said it in that context, not in the context where you're being weirdly poetic.
Weirdly poetic. I like to take an emotion. So how I write music, just to circle back to me, because I love talking about me, which I don't at all. But just to go back at it, I love to write lyrics from a perspective of what everybody would relate to. So it doesn't technically tie to a specific person, but I would take a specific feeling and then expand it towards where it feels like it could apply to anybody that's felt that feeling before. So I would never make a specific reference, but I would tap into a specific feeling that I felt from a relationship and then go, okay, so this is what everybody, I don't think I'm special in any way. I don't think any relationship is special. All of us sort of have things that tie us to, which is why like people like romantic comedies or romantic movies, because to a certain extent we connect to them as just people that have been in love in general. So I write from that perspective. I take it, and then after that, I tie it into what everybody would feel. So I like songs like that, and I do that in songs. And a lot of people have been like, oh, is this about me? But I'm like, no, it's not about you. It's just about love.
So I guess I appreciate that a lot. I was thinking about it more like you take some fucking bitches ain't shit lyrics when you're mad at your girl.
Bitches ain't shit. Yeah, no, I would hate that. I hate people that post statuses. I hate people that enter that they're engaged and then 2 weeks later say they're separated.
Bro, what is that?
What is this? And what's his face got engaged to what's her face, and then after that 2 weeks later it's we're in a complicated relationship. When Facebook introduced it, it's complicated. That's when shit got fucked up.
Nah, it's complicated. I think had a fair purpose. Is for people that were in the more you can fuck me but I'm still with her phase, which is a real thing. And there was,
why would that be something you would want to announce on social media, though?
Because you want to tell these people you have somebody. If you're playing that right, it's an honesty, candidness thing. So it's almost like a code that, like, for swingers is a real thing, but then everyone else, like, swingers, I feel. So like it's a vibe. It's like spitting Wu-Tang lexicon. You get it or you don't. So that's what I took. It's complicated because the only people. Back when I was in Seja, I was not one of them. I thought they were like wow nifty, but like I saw some people in the polyamory world doing their thing. It's complicated is a real thing. It's just that most people don't use it right, in my opinion.
No, people use it as like, oh, we're in a toxic relationship, but sometimes we're on, sometimes we're off. It's complicated.
So yeah, I don't know what that is. I mean, or maybe it's complicated. Maybe it's you don't want to fuck. Or don't come near me.
They should make a movie on this. They made a movie on this. It's like Diane Keaton and some other dude. But the whole idea was like that was her ex, but she was also dating this new guy. And to a certain extent, she wanted to be with her ex, but also she was loving this new guy. So it's complicated, you know?
Which is fair. I respect that. And you know what? Anybody that's in a complicated life and everybody's like candid about it and is done with a degree of respect, I have a lot of love for that world. I mean, Naughty by Nature didn't write OPP because there wasn't a code of this shit going on. He laid the code down for us.
Yeah, okay. So you down with OPP is what you're saying?
I'm down with whatever my girlfriend allows me to do. So I wrote a song called Seduce My Girlfriend, and it'll come later this year. And it's a sincere fucking attempt to tell people out there that if you want this dick, then seduce my girlfriend. Legit. It's not a lie.
Say less. What?
Yo, I mean,
seduce my girlfriend. That's you want a dick?
You gotta get
Talk to my
her.
girl.
That's it. Yo, it's viable. She said, "Find me somebody I like." You don't understand the level of creativity I will take to achieve the dreams, and if I can blend the dreams, well, like I also feel like it's some super middle class fantasy shit. It's so regular. Who doesn't want to smash like 3 girls at once? I mean, not everyone, but like in a fantasy kind of way, a whole bunch of people. You might not, I realize, because you wrote like love poems and shit, so you on that other tip. But if you're on the other tip, yo, it's a fantasy. Whether or not you really want to do it, it's a fantasy. So, I mean, I kind of want to be a little bit of a rock star I have since I'm a kid.
I think it totally requires too much attention. I mean, if you're really going to give attention to 3 different people at the same time,
it's like fucking
in one bed, that's impossible, bro. In my opinion.
I mean, I don't want to go too deep in it, but
you're a rock star, bro.
I have thought this shit through. I've got the strategies down pat, and I'm training physically. It was, bro. I'm not even kidding. Half that lose weight song is I want to fuck better. It's like really what it is.
You did say it though. You did say it in the song though.
Yo,
you did make a how you wanted to fuck better in the song.
It's just what it is. So you have the cardio up in game, and now I'm clocking calories burned for the deed.
That's crazy. If you take it and you scale it to 3 women, you are crazy burning calories.
Right? See, now it's an extra productive
level.
It's an extra. I mean, again, Bonnie has to consent to all of this. She is aware. She's on the intro to the song. That was the only way I could write the song. It's like, yo, Bonnie, what would it take that? She's like, well, find me someone I like first, and it's actually her. And so that you get the blessings, right? Like, she is not surprised I have conversations like this. But that's it. I have them off cam, so I should be willing to have them on cam, or I'm just talking behind people's backs, and I'm not really like that. It's just funny.
That's so terrible. I would never, ever, ever be able to talk about this topic in general. Only because, first of all, I'm not that interested in the idea of like sharing 3 people in the same bed, because it's like, I like the one-on-one. I enjoy just really being focused on this person and really just taking that level to a different level. When it's 3 people, you need to not only accommodate that person, you need to figure out what those other 2 people want, and are you neglecting this person and that person? It's not my thing. It's not my cup of tea.
I respect that. As you said it, I felt like the project manager in me geek out a little bit. Like, how do I do it?
You know how to figure it out.
So I just want to figure it out. It's like, that sounds so fun. Like, I just picture bars.
That's something you put on a CV, bro. That would be something you put on a CV, 100%.
In my utopia, that would be on your CV.
It should be.
But it's not my utopia.
Successfully entertain 3 women at the same time.
Successfully. It can't be you
That's
failed.
project manager type shit.
That's it. You had to figure out 3 separate people and get them to like each other too. And not have anybody jealous at the end. Oh my fuck. I don't know that I can do it. But like, I have goals and I might not achieve them.
Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Yo.
Holden did it.
It's not, but it's not even like for the pride. It's just on some like, bro, I'm sure I saw some rapper shit. Like, they had fucking 7 girls in the video, and I was sold when I was 13, and I've been on that shit since. It's probably as simple as that for me.
Thing, bro, I listened to like Ray J's One Wish. You know, like if I had one wish, it would be you. It wasn't like it would be you plus 2 other ones.
What These Bitches Want by DMX is one of the first early rap songs for me. So right there, right? Like,
what do you think of the Drake remix?
The which one?
Did you listen to it?
I have not heard it. What remix to what?
Drake had a sample of Drake's DMX What These Bitches Want.
I didn't even
and
hear
it was
it.
fine.
I bet I'd like it
Not
though.
nearly as good as Drake as DMX's though, to be honest.
To be fair, I think I'd like it because I'm now Team Drake, and I think Drake is possibly one of the greatest artists of this generation, without a doubt.
You do that when you have other writers, though.
So, nobody can deliver like Drake. You can't do.
I know.
You can't be like, they know, and do it like Drake. You just can't do it. I don't care what anyone. I don't care who wrote the song. You can't do it like Drake.
Facts.
That's where I'm at with it. I can't do it like Drake. I've tried a lot. I can't. Sometimes it's like, how the fuck do you actually say so little in a song and sell me that song so hard? Like, Shawty, you're the best I ever had, the best I ever. That shit's a banger. You the fucking best. You the fucking best.
Drake With Me has the DMX sample. The first line is just, on some DMX shit. I group DM my exes. That's fire. Just imagine group DMing your exes.
Oh my gosh. Like, to be honest though, that's a level of life like I would like to have unlocked. Do I want to even walk through the door? I don't know. I just want the choice. I want the option. I want to know I'm there. And then I can say yes or no. I don't even know if I want it. It could just be some shit I think I want. But fuck it. 100%. It has motivated me to get this far in life. Because you know how expensive and complicated a harem really would be to run?
Harem, bro, you using big words.
Bro, I told this to like Meticulous. He was like, what the fuck? I mean, like, look, I want Bonnie more than I want that. So, end of the day, she has to be like on board. And I have soft pitched it for half a decade.
Yeah, exactly. You would never ever sell out your main.
Yeah, she's like right there. Like she knows I want her more. But like, yo, she's the most important. Like, there's none of this without her.
100%.
But she also chose to date me knowing I was like this when she met me. So
if she knew her choices, then this would be something that we eventually work towards, or don't. I mean, at the end of the day, you're not going to sacrifice what you have with her.
Exactly. She's like, that's it. Now, it's on me to create a compelling enough series of circumstances that seduces my girlfriend. And if I achieve that, then I get what I want. If I can't achieve that, then I clearly don't want it bad enough.
and you still have what you want, and that's the beauty of it.
Yeah. I don't like to have lose-lose situations. I see this as a huge win-win.
Exactly. It's either you win by having what you already have, or you win-win
Yeah.
by having what you want and what you already have.
Yeah. Like, I'm super into this. And I don't care. As long as she says yeah, then we in. And, like, yo, if I can put her in the right room, I'm certain the right people will be there. And she'll be like, okay, this isn't terrible. And that's all I need is this isn't terrible.
It's not so bad. It's not so bad.
But honestly, like, the love thing is mad cool. I really like it a lot. I like the idea. My idea of love has to do with compromise and, like, partnership. A lot of it. It's just, like, everybody's individualistically, like, fascinated by particular goals and shit.
Yeah, 100%.
And if the goals can align over time, that, I don't know, maybe it's kind of mathematical a bit, but, like, it's kind of like what I find allows you to build the foundation for it. And then the rest of it is just some fucking weird, unexplainable shit where it really doesn't make no sense sometimes. But I like it. I wouldn't really trade it. I wouldn't be single if I had the choice. Because, like,
You would not.
it's shitty. Honestly, the parts of my life that I was single, it's just like, yo, having a vacation, like, when you have, like, a week off and not much to do when you're single is one of the worst fucking moments. It's just like all of these, like, oh, I hope this is going to happen. And then they don't.
But if it doesn't, then I'm fucked.
Yeah, and you're by yourself in a room and it's boring. Or you're at a party moping. Yo, I go to a party with Bonnie, I have a good time. I go to a party alone, I hide in a corner. It's just what it is. I'm not really good at riding through life. Like, I'm like an isolated loner. Super good on the internet, though. It's like telephones.
Me too. I like cameras. Cameras, I can do whatever it is, you know? But when I feel like I have to meet people, I have to entertain a different energy. To me, to my certain extent, it's like I have to figure out who you are. Does my personality vibe with who you are? And then it's a different type of thing. And I wouldn't be able to cross that boundary and be like, hey, what's up? I'm Tyrell. When I'm in a club situation, I would be the same guy that's in the corner.
Although sometimes you meet that one person where all of a sudden circumstances make you talk to them and then it's dope. I like it when circumstances
100%.
interfere. That's my favorite.
Sometimes things just coalesce. For me, it's just a beautiful thing when it finally makes it to a point where both your energies and her energies, or his energies, if that's your thing, you know, and you guys just kind of like fucking vibe. Energy is a different frequency. For me, it's just like, it's beautiful when it finally happens.
Yeah,
it's not always something that happens though.
That's it. Energy is a good word. I'm really on this weird, like, this energy tip. All of my artistic choices are, and all of my choices are based on energy now. It's really simple. Do I like the energy of that idea? Yes, no, boom, easy. Bonnie finds it so frustrating because I just turn down shit sometimes all the fucking time. I don't like that. Why? I don't know. I can't even tell you why I don't like some shit. Not like I'm talking about, like, creative ideas, like branding.
Some of your frequency vibes on past experience. It's things that aren't essentially you. And sometimes you have to rise above whatever that fucking history is to get to a level where you're vibing with something that really is intrinsic to your soul. And I feel like a lot of times we kind of just like, oh shit, like in my past, I was rejected for this, and that. And so I won't fuck with this, and that. But that's not necessarily who your soul is. Like sometimes I just intrinsically vibe with somebody and I don't even know why. It's not something that I understand. And I feel like we really need to tap into erasing our past to a certain extent and then getting towards where we really are present. I'm not present a lot. I'll tell you that straight up.
I don't know.
I'm a person that thinks sure of the past.
I'm not always present. I don't know if I'm good at it. I don't know that I will ever be good at it too. So I just kind of let people know I'm shit at shit. Cause well, I mean,
at least you're honest. At least you're honest.
Y'all need some visions, prophecies, and like fucking corporate managing skills. I got you. You want to talk about how to turn love into a project management thing with metrics that are fucking obscure but would make your girlfriend happy? Got you. You want to talk about the ethereal nature of shit? I don't know, depending on how good you are at the debate I'm in. But like, I tried hanging out at the park a lot recently and just meeting people, and I don't know that I like it. I don't know.
It's tough.
There's so many kinds of people out there that I don't mesh with. And like I have to do my lie smiley face shit. And I used to have an algorithm where I had it all worked out in my head how to like navigate a certain kind of person where I don't like offend them. I can get through a conversation without offending these people just on some accident shit. And I lost it all. I don't have any of it no more. The idea of going back to my office place, I don't know that I could do it. Like I don't know that I have it in me to relearn how to integrate back into that shit.
Okay.
Culturally speaking.
Yeah.
I'm not like this is fine, but you may have noticed I'm really not like afraid to speak my mind, and I don't know what's appropriate anymore. And like in this context, it's cool because we're on the fucking internet. It's whatever. We're rappers, blah blah blah, music people. But like, yo, if you're like a parent and you don't want to hear fuck, it makes my life really weird sometimes, and I'm not in my zone. It's like I have to like enter into this other culture and code switch, and I used to be like super good at it and sort of good at it. I wasn't even ever really good at it, but now I'm just really fucking bad at it. Plus, if I'm hanging out with like 4 people at the same time, it's like stacking energies, and I don't even know how to do that. It's so much. It was so overwhelming. That time we went to the park and there was a whole bunch of us, and I was like, oh, it's gonna be like an hour to like talk.
Some people don't even realize how predominant their energies are. They think they're accommodating other energies when they're really not. And to a certain extent, I have a hard time adapting to energies that are not comprehensive of what's going on around them.
Like
some people are really on their own thing. And I really have a hard time just being like, okay, do you even understand that this person's trying to talk? Or do you even hear what this person's saying? Or are you just responding how you would want to respond, however you fucking feel like it is? I have a hard time with it. I hear what you're saying. For me, I feel like I could adapt. I'm very PR. I feel like if I had a role, I could be PR 5,000% because I get what it means to be, oh, this is disrespectful towards this certain group, and that's disrespectful to this group. But it's
a lot of people need that in this city.
It's exhausting, and I feel like the biggest commodity that's going to happen for artists in the future, only because cancel culture is so major, is if you can understand what it means to be canceled and what would get you canceled. So if you figured out how to say, no, I can't say this. I can't say this. This is not what I can say right now because that will get me fucked. So if labels understood that you can say that and know that you're not going to say what's going to get you on a different level, that would be the biggest commodity in the future. Not your music, not any of that, because you can be the greatest artist in the world. If you finally say that, women ain't shit, you're fucked. And I would never, ever say that because it's not true. But I'm just saying, if you said that, you would get canceled immediately. And I've heard so many artists say things that were just like next level. Bruh, are you even hearing yourself right now?
I'm not convinced cancel culture is as powerful as you think it is, except for the context of social media.
Social media is so powerful, though.
Yeah, but you don't work around it. I know it's ironic that I would say that because of how social media centric it is for those who know me. But you can entirely underground your life without social media. I've seen some people do some preposterous shit to great success just because they understood that social media is not their thing. So getting banned was just part of their marketing strategy.
Kevin Hart almost got canceled from a post he did 10 years ago.
Yeah, but
whatever you post on social media, if you were not socially conscious, you can get canceled for it 10 years from now.
If your goal is to deal with a certain kind of monetization, then I agree with you entirely. I'm saying there's more than one kind of way to get paid, and you can just work around that system.
You can even feed into that system. If you felt like your market was 100%, if your market was racist and you decided you were going to market yourself towards that thing.
Racist. If your market's edgelords, just edgier people, if that's the kind of comedy they like, they'll follow you to like fucking Patreon or whatever.
Trump, I feel like and I don't like Trump. Trump was the genius as far as marketing towards a demographic and figuring out how to capitalize on that demographic and make that work in his favor.
Yeah,
I think it's a terrible demographic to market towards. I think what he was marketing wasn't great.
So here's where like it gets kind of weird with social media. A lot of
Yeah.
people get the ban. I never got the ban on some luck shit because of life. Not because of now. Now it's skill. I don't get banned because I don't do the thing that gets you banned is one thing. And it's always I'd say 95% of the posts that people have sent me with the ban, I can tell you the exact sentence. This is not like Chrome's recent ban, where because he was so fucked in the system, it was too late and they were just looking for shit. I'm saying the first bans. It's the personal attack. It's the part where you go, you're and you insult this person.
Right.
That's it. That's what's getting people banned over, and I don't do that no more. I don't insult people in my debates. I go real like stoic on my shit. So how am I getting banned? What term of service do I violate when I go anecdotally from this blah blah? You know, like I say it like that. I word my shit mad PRE.
PRE. That's
I
a verb. You just made a verb.
But it's
or an adjective all by yourself.
But like, you can say what you want. You can have every opinion in the world, and it's these people get into like things where they use certain jargons that are bad, certain terms that are just what. Like, just don't use the term. You know that it's going to be perceived as an attack.
Yeah.
So then it's like freedom of speech, bro. It's Canada. It's Canada. We're not the States. Don't care about what your utopia is. There's still the present reality. We never had that.
Free
right.
speech is not a thing in Canada. You need to be PR 5,000% in Canada.
Well, it's that hate speech is a thing in Canada. So it's not
100%.
so much that free speech isn't.
Oh, okay.
It's that hate speech
I hear
really
you there.
is a thing. So it's like, who cares what you think should be? This is the reality. This is the current legal framework. You can operate within it or you can operate without it. And if you choose to operate outside of it on some petty shit, you have consequences.
There was this whole thing about, I don't know if you listened to Jordan Peterson.
I did for a minute, and then I lost
Okay, so for
interest.
Jordan Peterson, there was like a certain minute where he was like being forced to accept pronouns, and he decided he was going to rage against it because of freedom of speech, right? But it almost got him, like, he almost lost his tenure. It's like he almost got canceled as a person in general. And for me, my opinion is just like, what would it take for you to say they? What the fuck would it take for you to say they?
Like, I think he knew exactly what he was doing in hindsight. Look at what his
Totally
career.
understand his perspective on it.
Yeah, but like, how do you go that viral, that successfully, that money cash paid that quickly, right? Like, you know what I'm saying?
He knew his group. He knew his group.
So I feel like he saw an opportunity to get buzz and he jumped on it.
Right.
But like, I like that he did it because academia is corrupt. It's like a mob,
Right.
and I don't think people know that, and it's a fucking weird world. So I guess there's a good point to be made that the fact that he took this stance was problematic and exposed a certain area of censorship that really does exist within a system of information flows. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I think everything he did was marketing and I don't like him a lot now. I think he's not.
Ouch.
I think his book is not great from what I've seen in the. You know what it is? A lot of people.
The 12 rules of success.
I haven't read it, so for those that care, I did not read it, but I had a lot of people try to convince me to read it. And when people try to convince me to read shit and use really awful arguments, it tells me that this book is not it, cuz.
Fair.
That's as much as I can go with it. And I watched a lot of his debates, and I realized how vapid he is and how he doesn't debate. He like is more akin to Ben Shapiro than not, and I did not really find him interesting.
Ben Shapiro, though? I don't like Ben Shapiro, only because the way that he argues.
Yeah, the way that Jordan Peterson argues is very Ben Shapiro-esque, but from the other angle, but from like kind of in a way that doesn't look like it. But yeah, it is. Watch all the big Jordan Peterson moments are him twisting language and not really like doing any good debating. It's only good.
Fair, but also some of the things that they're arguing is not proper arguing as far as it is just really like taking what they are perceiving as negative and then after that projecting it onto him.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily him saying something negative more than it is them having an issue with what he's saying.
Yeah, but I watched a lot of Jordan Peterson content. I watched him with Sam Harris. I watched him with a lot of situations. Nah, he's really not it to me. Like, he's really like surface level. He doesn't know nothing he's saying makes sense unless you want to be a bro. And then a lot of things make sense. But I guess
He does curtail a lot to the male narrative,
and
which
like,
I don't like.
I don't necessarily find that my inner strength comes from a damn thing he says is worth having, except for maybe I kind of like God, so I'm with God in my life. I'm cool with that shit, so I fucks with that. But like otherwise, everything he says kind of sounds like pseudoscience to me.
Fair. Like I said, I'm not a major supporter of Jordan Peterson. I was really just trying to drag that one point. For me, I do feel like he does curtail towards a certain audience, and that audience is not necessarily representative of what is real or what is socially acceptable, in my opinion.
Yeah,
and I'm more for what the collective is about than what one demographic is.
Well, to me, that's what democracy is supposed to be. You know, maybe I don't understand democracy, but in democracy, you might lose.
Of course.
And,
of course.
Like, I mean, I just, like, even take the fucking curfew. Apparently 69% of Quebec was down for the curfew. So if democracy is a real thing, however it may be, if 2/3 of people are down for it, and we're a democratic society, shouldn't there be a degree of playing ball as a citizen? And I don't know that I'm right.
Yes, but also when you're taking these 69% demographic or whatever, who the fuck are you calculating? A lot of the things when it comes to study...
No, that's a great answer. That may have not been my best example because your answer was too good. But in general, I guess there are probably better ones. But nah, let's say the stats legit. Multiple sources, multiple things across the board. It turns out even Montreal is down. Let's just hypothesize. Then at that point, what is the democratic move as a culture? What do we also?
If we believe in democracy as a system of belief, we have to accept that if 51% agreed, then that's what it is. But I honestly don't feel like we, especially when it comes to like the fucking curfew, I feel like we did not calculate that properly, and I don't feel like there was a 51% agreement in what was going on. There was a lot of people that were just totally in disagreement. But yes, I understand what you're saying right now.
Yo, you know what? I found out a lot of my colleagues never felt the curfew. They had kids that went to bed at 8, so they had curfew. I'm
an overnight worker, so I would always be like leaving the house at like 10 o'clock. So I would constantly get carded by the police or something like that by saying like, "Oh, what's your paper?" Yeah, 100%. I would get my papers checked all the time, just to be like, "Oh, are you freaking? Where are you going right now?" And then I'd say, "Be like, I work overnight," and they're like, "Oh, what do you mean overnight? You're a call center agent." And I'm like, "Yeah, but I work overnight." And they would always check my papers. Everything would not be clear. It's not a cool system, and I really didn't feel comfortable with the system that was going on at that time. Yeah,
I can appreciate your perspective. I just know that a large number of Quebecers didn't feel the curfew because they had their own curfew based on offspring.
Most people do. I feel like it's a younger generation thing that was not in support of it. I feel like most older generations were just like, yeah, cool, no problem.
I mean,
but even just something as simple as like walking outside of the house, that's where it gets a little bit weird. Where like you want to walk your dog at 11 p.m. you can't. Oh, you can walk your dog, right? Because that was the one thing that made it acceptable. But if you wanted to go for a walk at 11 p.m., say you wanted to escape an argument. Let's say you were in an argument with your relative other, you know, and you wanted to leave the house at 11 p.m. You can't, unless you had a dog. Things like that, little things like that.
Yeah, it was mad inconsistent. I was not thrilled with the way that rolled out. Was not. It was like, I just lived with it. I don't know. I guess I had that extra room. So I planned in ahead for that. But if I had a kid, I don't know, man. That shit, like, shut out the parents. Shut out the fuck. Yo, I did an interview yesterday, and the guy had screaming kids in the background. By the end, it was just, you know, like, we're rolling with it. But that's his life.
Right.
Shout out the parents. we just lived with it. We did that. So I'm just grateful, you know, like I'm in this position where I don't feel like it was that bad, but I also was doing this a lot, and I feel like, yo, like I said, it's like I told you beforehand, I feel like it's 80% as good as hanging out with somebody. So I had this like constant influx of fresh faces, and that helped me cope.
Yeah, to be honest, I was very apprehensive of doing this by Zoom, only because I'm not used to like talking to a camera or seeing a face by picture.
But yeah, it actually almost feels like you're chilling with a person. It almost feels like it.
Yeah,
You know?
it's like close enough. Like I'd be more inclined to be like the real life version is better. I'm definitely not set up because I lent out microphones, but I'm not against it. I feel like though I like this vibe with the interview. It's
Yeah,
consistent. It's got a thing. You're at home, so you're comfortable. I'm here.
yeah. You can see I'm comfortable.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't have no 2 floors up in my shit, but I do have books. Those are real. Yo, so I have a big question then. What comes after your happy for you situation? Are you like rolling
Okay,
out a
so
bunch of stuff?
I don't really know what amount I'm able to divulge in the interview. I could tell you, or I'm gonna tell you, that I do have an entire album recorded already.
Okay.
So we're deciding at this point whether we're going to release another music video and then the album, or just move forward with the album from here. Um, the album's been recorded, so I really do. I'm really excited to share the material. I do have a lot of songs that are really just like close to my heart, and I'm really looking forward to releasing them. But that's where we are right now. It's just figuring out where to go forward from here, whether this song was enough and this music video was enough to go forward, or whether we need to release at least another one to build a catalog, and then after that release the album.
Yo, so now we have questions coming in from the comments. What's your favorite book?
The Alchemist, hands down, by Paulo
Yeah, straight
Coelho.
up, that's a good book.
Yeah, really just I don't think I believed in my dreams to the extent that I did until I read that book, and then it was just about manifesting and really about soul connections to things. So I would say that book probably biggest in my life.
Yeah, it's a big book. There's not a lot of books I would say can hit you like that, and it's not like hyperbolic. That's no hyperbole. That shit slaps hard. It's a good book that everybody should
It's
probably
super
read.
good. I think everybody should read it at least. If they have a dream, read that book and just really figure out how to manifest gold.
Do you plan to do 100% R&B project?
No, I did have an inkling to go towards trap soul, probably when Bryson Tiller first released his album. I do think I'm more connected towards a rap level, so I don't know if I could ever release an album where I was just singing. But I would really love to sing more. I feel like my first album didn't have enough singing, and I really would like to focus more on that. Really just work on my vocal talent and go from there, 100%.
Yeah, fair. How did you get into battling? Because that's like a whole part of your career that, is also interesting.
Right, the one thing we didn't talk about. So yeah, battle rap. I've been watching battle rap for many, many years. I've been watching Chrome since he first started. I've never wanted to get into battle rap only because I felt like I was in a vulnerable position because of my sister and her handicap. I really thought that was going to be a point in which people were going to capitalize on, and I would honestly thought I didn't have the emotional capacity to have somebody talk shit about my sister and me not swing on them. So for me, it was just like, I'm not going to do this. I won't go into this. And then eventually I was just like, from a writer's perspective, I really like battle rap. I really like the idea of chess playing an opponent into losing. So figure out their angles, figure out their names, how to work that into an audience perspective. So that was really what made me go into it. But I honestly had no intent of going into battle rap when I first heard it. Just out of that fear that they were going to cross a boundary that I don't think I would have been able to accept.
So how do you go from being afraid of doing it to being in a finals and DMS tournament like very recently?
Okay, so it first started, I guess, with the battle with Prophet. I didn't think Prophet was an opponent that was going to take it to that level. So battling with him was kind of just more like sport, and I really appreciated battling with him because it was just name battling. It was just really on a respectful level. I think going forward with my battle with Noso, I knew Noso was somebody that takes personal jabs. So he was already pre-battle talking about my sister, and I really had to have a conversation with my sister to say, like, listen, I understand this guy is going to talk about your handicap, and he was going to go in on that personal level. And I think once I got to a level where my sister was like, I like what you're doing and I respect what you're doing and I'm going to be able to handle this, then I can move forward from there. And I think now, if an opponent was going to talk shit about my sister, it would be like, okay, cool, do what you got to do. You look like more like shit than I do if you talk about my sister. So that's what made me that's what gave me the confidence to go forward. I'm not gonna lie and say that I don't feel apprehensive. I'm not all the way. I'm a more a peace and love person. So battle rap is kind of like a platform that requires you to be negative, requires you to be aggressive, and it gives me anxiety, to be honest. And I think that shone through in my last battle where I didn't really know how to battle against somebody like Napalm. I had major respect with him as an artist. I loved him as a battle rapper. I think he's great. And I was not 100% in that energy towards where being negative. I feel like COVID has brought us to a level where I really just want to connect with people. But I'm going to move forward. I'm not going to let that be my last battle. I'm definitely going to go forward from there and just fuck up a lot of people's lives. That's my goal.
That's fair. I'm not really sure I could do the battling. I thought about it.
It's hard.
I could battle somebody I don't like. That 100%. I could do.
That's the issue.
I don't know how I could battle like a Cool Man Logan. And I use him specifically because I love his shit. I'd be like, I would just turn into me complimenting him.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I wish I was as good. No, I would never say that. That was a joke. I was like, no, I wouldn't say that. Was fucking. But like, I would turn into some shit where it would sound like that. Like, I wish I was as good as you. And that is not what I want. I don't know that I could. Because, if I really fucks with you, I'm just going to give you praises. I don't want to fucking have to say negative shits. I respect the people who do it because I got into battle rap over the last year. And now I really like it. Like, I really, really like it. But I like watching y'all do it. That's fun.
Yeah. I don't like being in it, to be honest. And I'm in it, and I do enjoy the craftiness of the writing. The writing is so amazing. It takes so much to get to that level where you're writing those bars. It's difficult to get in that energy. And so that's the performance part that I haven't really dived into, and I'm really trying to work on it so that I can get to a point where it's like every battle's a body. So I'm trying to get there.
Yeah, I just practice it in a room full of people. I know that sounds wonky, but I've now talked to enough battle rappers of like prestige to know that they all have rooms full of people, and they battle and practice the shit out of their shit in front of people, and like 100%. Have like fake opponents and shit.
This was all in my head. So for me to like finally get to a point where you're on the stage, and when you expect to get that reaction, so when you perform it in front of people prior, you're getting those bars where it's like, oh shit. But when you're trying to feed yourself on that shit, and then when you finally get on stage and you're not getting the reaction you expected, well, then when those lines don't hit, you go, wait a minute, y'all didn't catch that? And then you start forgetting what the rest of the thing is. Oh, that's just me.
So hold up. Is that why so many rappers started to do that? Let me run that back. It's a this. Let me break down my scheme. This is my scheme, you unintelligent being.
I would 100% say that a lot of them are kind of like running it back because, oh, wait, you didn't hear me? Let me say that again, Because a lot of people don't catch it on the first vibe. And I feel like Montreal versus like, say, like a URL or something like that.
No,
it's
bro,
a different.
All I watch is the URLs and the KOTDs because that's like, I haven't watched a lot of Montreal.
Everything though, like it's rare that they'll run it back.
So that's fine, but everything else that's not that, and even then, because now a lot of the guys coming from these leagues kind of learned how to do styles that incorporated breaking down the schemes as part of the style. So now that's just a motif that gets used. So in a sense, it gets normalized. And I don't know that I'm 1,000% right. So nobody come at me with you. I don't know shit about battle rap, bro. I didn't know who Iron Solomon was when I talked to him in December. That was my introduction to battle rap. Okay. And I ran it since then. I pay for URL. That's what it is. I don't watch a lot of it, but I pay for it.
Fair. So that's just regular support right there.
Well, I mean, they do a lot, and they made an app, and in a lot of sense, like ownership is a big subject. So it's like at some point when I'm richer, I'll pay for Feezy shit as well because like battle rap needs that. I just can't afford to take on more fucking monthlies like that. Like I would love to.
The monthlies, bro. Crave, Netflix.
No, I'm talking friends. people like, yo, I fucking love Meth. I support what Meth does so much. So I'm subscribed to him on Twitch. Prechenkobia is a huge person that's done a lot for a lot of people, so I'm subscribed to him on Twitch. I'm subscribed to Willie Scandals on Tribe. And then it's like, yo, these add up. I only have X amount I can put into other people like that. And so I put in the people I put in, and unfortunately, until I'm richer, I can't do more. If anything, I have to like reconsider if I can really afford fucking some of this shit. like it's more like that, you know? Like, so it's like I want to go fucking give DMS money because honestly, I really respect the cultural impact they have that I didn't know they had back in the day when I looked into them. The value of their truck is cool. Like, it's all cool. Like, they're really doing what...
super proper.
It's like,
super proper.
It's like, but it's also like they have a magazine. I didn't even know that. They have a lot of things that I didn't even know about. And when you dig in and realize...
They pushed the magazine more before, yeah. But I don't know if they're still doing the magazine, but yeah.
There was straight up issues in 2020. I looked at, I found all these PDFs. But what's incredible is it's all these PDFs that you can just dig through with these interviews from like fucking people in like 2017, like King Misery shit from back when he was coming in, and like
King Miz, super proper. Love King Miz. Shout outs to King Miz, bro. He's dope.
But it's like, yeah, it's like this archive, and I'm like, yo, in my role, what I'm seeing, I gotta give Feezy the love for that, because nobody else.
Feezy's been putting people on the map. I feel like Feezy doesn't get his flowers, and I really feel like Feezy has been. He's pushing it, and to be honest, like people that don't understand his plans, he's going to be moving forward with crazy shit in the future. So I'm super dope to hear what he's going to be coming up with for sure.
Yeah, no, I mean, I can't say I fully understand his plans, but I can also say I didn't do a lot of work into trying to understand Feezy's plans until very like recently, until I got into it, and then I realized, yo, there's only so many English fucking media platforms out here, eh? Only so many.
It's hard enough just to be English in the media platform.
So therefore, 100%. I have to just give love to all the English media. I don't even know what I feel anymore. I just have to give love to all the English people. I don't give as much love to the French side. Not to give any disrespect to them, but it's like, yo, they can pull 5 figures on a video. Okay? Like,
yeah, they can do whatever.
I'm trying to a radio interview will pull 5 figures. I'm like, oh, they are good right now by my standards. Yeah. I'm not.
It's the niche of it though that makes them so easily palpable. The reason why we're drowning is because there's so many English platforms. Whereas if you're in a French platform, what countries do you have that are going to listen to your stuff?
I mean, I would argue there's probably I was just watching the Hustle podcast episode 6
so good.
With a guy whose name I can't remember, but he's cool. But he was talking about being a French artist and how as an Anglo artist our perception is off. It's really good for the big guys, but the little guys is just like us. It's the same struggle. There's just the same saturation. And then I thought to myself, though, 12% of Quebec or Montreal, one of the two is English. Fair. That's not a lot of people. So that makes it like we're really not the same metropolis of Anglophones as it is for the Franco-Max population. The actual population is a lot smaller. And then I realized I live in NDG, which is 166,000 people, which is bigger than cities that have scenes. And I'm like, hold the fuck up. A lot of excuses have been made. But I live in a predominantly English borough that has rappers in it, that has more people in it than smaller towns that have thriving scenes. Forget the rest of Montreal. Just NDG.
So what you're asking is that everybody in the NDG borough is somebody that listens to the rap industry.
That's not what I'm asking. I'm saying people in smaller towns with bigger obstacles have pulled it off. That's all I'm saying.
Everybody in a smaller town knows everybody in a smaller town, though.
Yo, I found... But I don't know that it has to be like that if we were to focus on shit like just parks. Just do a park.
It doesn't have to.
So let's say, because I've been trying to think about how to solve the problems a little more than just worry about them.
You're right. We can make up excuses as much as we want. It's not going to get us anywhere.
So you're like by the hood. Honestly, you would fit into my fucking section of the city. And it's just geography. Just because you can do it. You're close by.
It's a block away, bro.
But that's like kind of it. So within that, anybody in the Southwest is kind of in this section, and there's maybe multiple vibes. The vibes that I'm rolling with, you got the Cool Man Logans, the Vincent Prices, all these people, Verdun, fucking LaSalle, fucking whatever. What if we just created tours of parks?
Easy.
and then we
Easy.
just show
I
up.
mean, it's that easy. I mean, tours and parks definitely have some like
Nah, we figured it out. We figured out some
yeah.
shit. We figured out how to make it look like it's not a show.
Yeah.
So we figured out how
But
to.
shout out to the Hustle Podcast. Shout out to Tech Luciano. Shout out to Talia.
Yo,
Dope.
shout out Steve. We gotta give him love too. He's holding it down. He's like the glue of it all.
Okay. I only know Tech. I only know Talia, but definitely shout out to Steve.
I interviewed
their
him,
whole
so
group,
like,
whole group.
yo, Steve is actually making a movie that has Tech and fucking Merker in it and shit. So like, shout out fucking
hard.
Steve. I just want to give him his love. He came through for an interview before
Major
people
shout out
gave
to
a
Steve
shit.
now. I want to act, bro. Let's go.
Yeah, well, I can link you to.
Don't talk about it. Be about it. You know?
Yo, simply what? Yo, Steve, fucking Tyrell wants to be in the movie. Is there a spot? Psh, done. I know it sounds whatever, but like that's what it is. I've been sharing this motherfucker show week over week. All 6 episodes got shared. Yeah, he saw that. I'll fucking hit him up. Nah, but he was legit. We did the same thing. He sat there. We had our conversation. It was a good fucking vibe. So every time we do these, it's like you get a sense of who people are and what you can do and what you can't do. Maybe not this movie. Maybe there's another opportunity. Maybe there's a thing or
Bro,
that.
this is major circling back to what you said at the beginning. It was just like this idea of like we don't share opportunities in Montreal.
Well, we should.
We don't.
Because New York does that. And I'm inspired a lot. Well, I managed to link up with Bronx Man. And Bronx Man is doing all Bronx shit. And it's different. And and then I talked to Olivier Barreau, who had the Hip Hop Cafe for a minute. And he's bringing that back. And he said...
Hey, that was major.
It was big major. But he told me that Quebec has low self-esteem. And this resonated with me. Because I don't have low self-esteem anymore. I used to, though. I have very high self-esteem and confidence in my ability to succeed. And I realized that if you listen to a lot of the subtleties in the language people use, they definitely don't believe they're going to achieve it. They want to achieve it. They think they're capable of achieving it. But they're not convinced themselves that they're going to. Like, it's not a doubt in my mind. It might take me a decade. I can live with that. But it's going to happen.
I know from whatever venue I'm going to take, one of them is going to stick. I just don't know which one's going to stick. I'm hoping it's music. I'm hoping it's acting. One of them's going to stick, though. I know 100% I'm going to get there.
I'm 100
But I hear what you're saying. Erase everything I've said in this whole podcast and just take that one part. You feel me?
Nah, but it's more like the faith in yourself, right? Like, let's say you really want to be an actor and that's really what you want. That's what you believe it is. Maybe that is what you believe it is. I don't know. Maybe music's like not the... And I'm not trying to shit on you. I'm saying, but based on that, like, I think you are an excellent musician. I think you can just go fucking do shit, put it out, and it'll work. And you don't even have to worry about shit. You don't have to worry about attention spans and shit. Fuck that. You're Tyrell, not Tyler. That's cool. You fucking got to the DMS finals. That means you...
Yeah. It's hard to know that you've gone to that point. Like, I don't recognize my accomplishments as much as I recognize my failures. So when I get to the finals and I don't pass the finals, for me, I recognize I don't pass the finals.
I would have got knocked out round 1. Like,
that's the thing. I don't look at it as like, yo, I beat this dude and that dude.
Bro, I've seen people put respect on your name that you don't even know has respect on your name.
Yeah, many years, bro. Many years. I know a lot of people respect me for the pen, and I do appreciate all of them. I just wish it sank in more. I wish I knew how to like absorb the shit and just be like, yo, you got this. I wish I had the confidence that those Montreal rappers that don't have the bars have. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, it's weird, but like, you just have to put yourself out there in a way that's mad exposed.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times that they don't have the bars, they do have the soul.
100%. Yeah.
You gotta ask yourself, what are people gonna connect with more? Soul, vibes, energies, or fucking bars? Because I can tell you one thing, I can't listen to No Immortal Technique 2008 no more. I already know the shit he taught me, and now it's just like history lessons I already learned. It's kind of not my shit.
That's the thing. I don't write anything without the soul. So the soul is definitely there, and I really think people connect with the soul of who I am as an artist. I just really need to like let it sink in more. So I really think that's what I'm trying to work on now, so that I can build the confidence for battle rap, I can build the confidence for music, and then I could just work from there.
I can tell you the only thing that gave me confidence is the fact that I sucked online for so fucking long.
It's the work. You continue to work through it, and then people give you those negative comments, and you say, "Oh yeah, you gonna talk shit? Let's go, let's go."
You get past that. It's more like somebody told me, called me a fucking like get a life YouTuber reaction guy. I got that comment today, so I just wrote,
Okay.
I have a life. I mean, I have a life. It's not even a lie. Go look at the channel.
Right.
I did like there's like 5 videos like that. There's a lot of interview shit. That's that channel. But like, it's like you just kind of get through the part where like it's more the frequency too, right? I had to like constantly expose my shit, my insecurities to the world to a point where yo, I don't even know anymore what's appropriate because whatever, I've done it so much. I sat there for 20 minutes on a stream going, you want this dick? Then seduce my girlfriend. Literally trying to get that chorus right. It took 20 minutes of just saying that. Live to Facebook, live to everything. Like, yo, you never even know, man. But then after that, bro, I don't know. Thinking it worked. Now I got the song. I put myself through the thing. Now I got the song. And then who cared? Nobody left me. They're all still riding. And at the end of the day, you run through that a lot, and then it's just math. You can't like deny the evidence of your greatness.
There you go. That's that real love right there.
Nah, but you're wonderful. You really got you. To me, it's like that, but it's like, how do you? I don't know. You just gotta believe it too. I don't know how. It's not. It's simpler said than done.
Little by little, bro. This music video was the first step, and I'm just gonna keep pushing through it from there.
Yo, that was
eventually
a
it's
great video.
gonna be like, yeah, exactly, 100%.
But also remember Facebook Reels and shit. Great way to do low budget versions of shit that connects with people.
Little cues. I'm trying to work on it. I'm trying to figure it out. No, it's little by little for sure.
It's so awful.
I'm trying to figure out if Facebook is the best venue, Instagram is the best venue, YouTube is the best venue. It's hard to figure out exactly where you need to focus your attention at.
Really, what you want is a piece of content you can throw on all of them.
Exactly. Yeah.
So like you find like the reels. So that is TikTok, Instagram, and I found out Snapchat's still a thing. Thanks, Golden Jenny. So and sometimes
Snapchat's still a thing.
Yeah, apparently you can like geo-local to like Montreal hip hop, and other countries may be looking for Montreal hip hop that they're missing because I'm not on Snap. Well, other people are there. Yeah. You got to go international on your stats, but yo, it's a real valid fucking use case. The Ukrainian teams I have use fucking Snapchat. Single people use Snapchat, but they have the fucking...
That's crazy. I always thought Snapchat was kind of like you can only see it through invite.
Nah,
through
but
invite only.
There's this map feature where you can like scroll around the world and click on shit like Laronde and stuff, and it shows you all the snaps that are in that area.
Okay.
And then now Snapchat has a store where you can submit your music. So you put the fucking song on the Snapchat when you release it, and now it's in the snaps, and you do snaps that give you micro spins and get you attention, and reels. So micro spins or whatever, syncs, whatever. I don't know. All I know is reels are monetized, like the spins. So if you post a reel at the right time, and apparently every 4 days for Holden, I get over 1,000 spins on these reels is what I'm testing, and it's all my music. So I'm gonna check the DistroKid in a couple of months and see what that pays. But I might be like making like $1 a post on this shit.
Let's go.
So it's like really just that's social media. It's what is monetizably interesting, followed by what is gonna connect you with people. So like I like TikTok by just so all I do is I open up my phone and I do the worst raps ever. I'll be like, yo, I'm walking down the street and there's something in my shoe. This is a TikTok rap. It's super bad, but it's for you. That's what it is. This is the worst rap ever. And then that's the whole TikTok. And then I had
Okay.
And then sometimes they're good. Like the one at Meticulous's crib was pretty good by accident. But like sometimes they're just shit. I don't care. But it lets me just be out there. And it all on brand. I'm a goofy regular man motherfucker. It is what it is. So like you can just kind of put yourself into the different ecosystems. And yo, via the TikToks I met a beat maker. Via the this I met beat makers. All I can say is the amount of beat makers that are in my life today versus a year ago has astronomically fucking changed. Dude, people took my acapella, this guy, and he reposted the TikTok with beats under them. And I'm like, music TikTok's blessed. Twitch, I fucking raid this girl. She loads the stream of us freestyling and starts playing violin under us. I'm like,
Whoa.
you know what I'm saying? Like, there's so much. You want to be on all of it, just smartly.
Right. Diversify your social medias, 100%.
And yeah, look for the opportunities that TyrellNotTyler makes sense for. So you probably want to bust into romance TikTok more than others.
TikTok for sure.
Bro, like, I don't know about like all of it, but I know there's Daddy Dom TikTok where men wear suits and like collars and do duets and then girls respond. Like, yo, there's vibes for everything you're looking for. So maybe
100%.
you just come with your eyes like that, a bunch of flowers, your song's playing in the background, and you put Tyrell, cause Saint Luc, Montreal. Where you at? And you just hold up the flowers, right? And it's super sincere, super on brand. Your sad song's playing in the background. Girls will be like, oh, Tyrell. And you're done. You're fucking social media star, my guy. It's just what it is.
I hear you. That's you dropping gems. You dropping gems.
That's how I see it now. It's like, what are the best qualities of a person? And then you just shape it around what their brand is. You are clearly Mr. Romance Love Man.
My favorite genre, I'll be honest. 100% my favorite genre.
Love a poem. Teary-eyed, which I've perceived as super stoned. Tyrell talking about this movie he saw that inspired him on the soundtrack, that he plays this instrumentals. Drops this fucking poem that moving me, my guy. It's moving me. I'm like, okay. That's you. That's your brand in the whole moment.
Yeah. Yes, that was from one of my favorite romantic comedies. Or not even a comedy. I think it's just a romantic film, to be honest. Yeah. About time. Go watch it. 100% from that movie.
Nah, for real though. Like, that was some good shit. So you just think about that. So there's got to be love TikTok. And then you effectively integrate into love TikTok as I don't even know if you're available or not, but your music makes it sound like you're available and heartbroken, so I don't fucking know. But that's what you step into. And now you're an available man, heartbroken, on the prowl a little bit on TikTok.
The prowl, eh?
A little bit on the prowl, not like really on the prowl. You're fake on the prowl. You're more like available but mysterious about it. You're just sad and you just want to find the true one, but it's none of you. Boom! Now you're just set. You just step into that shit. Wear some fucking outfits. Do it.
Suits.
This is where you maybe do a little booty shaking video as a joke. Maybe.
Been dying to do a booty shake video. 100%. That's where you get the money, bro.
I know it sounds weird, but it's where you get the money no matter what you look like, because somebody wants to see you shake your booty. And TikTok knows who wants to see you shake your booty. That's what's crazy about TikTok, is they know who wants to fuck you. It's real shit, dude. TikTok is not showing me a person. It's crazy what their stats are, but like, I know it is, but it's like, that's just TikTok. Instagram, you go more safe. You're a little more walk around Montreal smiling, you know. And then Facebook, just write shit. just write shit and put memes. I don't know. That's Facebook. I don't know what to do on Snapchat. Golden Jenny was like, you fucking moron, with politeness. She's very polite. She didn't say it like this. Why the fuck are you not on Snapchat, you motherfucker? You missing opportunities. And I'm like,
Okay.
She's like, there's a share button in that app that shares it to the other app. And I was like, Golden Jenny got me on basic fucking words. Yeah, that's what it is, man. It's just, that's what it is. And then, I don't know. You don't have to like it, though. It doesn't matter if you like it. That's the only thing that's true about this.
100%.
And it's okay to
You
suck.
cannot control what the external is, you know?
Yeah.
I release music and hope people like it, and if they do, they do great, and the rest of it is out of my control.
But once you learn how to get your selfie game on point, and you start to learn how to do the angles, and you start to dad up, you got to do the dad shit, because it's dad shit time. The beard and shit.
What do you mean dad shit, though? What are you talking about dad shit? What are you talking about?
It doesn't matter if you have kids. Just
Okay.
do dad shit. It
What does
just
that even mean? What am I supposed to teal a kid or something?
go
Like,
talk
I'm
to
supposed
dads. Just go find some
Okay.
dads and see their dad energy and absorb that
Oh.
dad energy, and then
You
go.
got that dad energy on you, zaddy type things,
Yo,
you
I
know?
work for a father. All these fathers be around me a lot. They bring me around. They're like, let me tell you, boss. And then you realize dads got balls of fucking steel because they're dads and they know they're dilfs. And then you watch women hit on them all the time for their babies, so they know what's up. So they come in with like, I'm the corniest motherfucker you have seen. I'm a dad. And it just works like a motherfucking charm. So I've been stepping into that shit all year, trying to be the most corny regular fucking dude. Because, yo, it takes kind of like balls to do that shit, right? Like, you
Right. You gotta let go of your ego 100%.
And then that gets flipped into perceived as confident. And it works like a motherfucking charm. And so I went regular, man. And the more and then people talk like, you're not regular. I'm like, I know I'm not fucking regular, guy. But if I tell you I'm fucking cool, you're gonna be like, you're not cool, and I don't want that.
Yes.
It's all marketing, right? I mean, I rap about being a marketer, so like everybody shouldn't be surprised. Like it's just like
Right.
I'm a marketer. It's part of my day job. I'm not saying I'm a good one. I just am one of whatever skill level it may be.
Must be killing it, bro.
Nah, just doing okay. Doing well enough to apparently be the 10th best podcast of Montreal, according to Clout Montreal, which makes me go, how fucking bad are we doing? And I mean that, like, bro, like, I don't get numbers. I don't have that shit. You know, like, 10th best? What? Who the fuck voted for me? And why aren't you watching? It was like your social media butterfly song. Am I hating it? Fuck no. My boss was like, and I swear, you're on a list with Mike Ward. And I was like, oh, that impressed you a lot. Cool. So, and then Skin Deep's on it. So we did it. I made a song called Top 10 Podcaster. I don't know. I'm on that vibe though. I'm like really not trying to be perfect. A lot of people want to be perfect. And I'm like, okay. Yeah. Like in order for you to have a chance, somebody has to be like not doing that. Like has to be kind of the lower end. I don't know how else to put it. Like I'm gonna go on the lower end. The shit that doesn't look as nice as your shit. And maybe doesn't sound as nice as your shit. But there's so much of it. Like there's not enough of those people. That's what I'm missing is like the people who are like, yeah, fuck it. You'll release one song, I'll put out a lot of songs. So that way people, when they get your shit, see my shit and really back your shit. Like, but like in a big picture marketing, this makes sense. Right. But like who the fuck wants to play that role? I really love it. It's actually fun. You can make songs about pickle chips and you can get away with that shit. I found that out.
Bro, it's like the dude that came up with the song for the fucking Montreal Canadiens or something, like wear that sweater or wear that. Terrible song. Totally trash. But definitely in his realm towards where he got on the fucking news and he was able to market himself as a rapper. Good for him.
I want to get on the news. But I have to
get there, bro.
That's why I want to talk to politicians. I figure if I go talk to Sue Montgomery in the middle of her fucking scandals and shit, like, and I don't mean it disrespectfully, but like, it's giving her an opportunity to come speak whatever she wants to speak. I'm not there to like tell them right or wrong. I even realized I'm not there to employ my own personal politics. I had to think long and hard about what the fuck to do with it. I'm there to do this with politicians.
You're there to give them the platform to really just talk about what they want to talk about. And then after that, whoever listens is up to them to decide what they want to decide from there.
All I can say is I soft pitched one of them. Yo, what if you were to just throw $5 at a rapper? That would be a move. He's like, okay. $5 and I'm like, no shit. There's opportunities of like songwriting, not to say like that. I don't know. I was like, I don't know the laws or nothing on that, but like, why are none of you hitting up the hip hop scene? You know, like not one of you
Bro,
have hit up an
it's
English
one of the
rapper.
platforms that is growing, I think, the most rapidly, and I think hip hop is almost bigger than pop right now. So
Yeah.
if you can take it and you can take that and market it towards your platform
Like,
for
I
for
invest in NDG's local arts. Check this guy. And then find an NDG rapper and, like, fucking do some shit with them. And, yo, to be fair, yo, I'm in this Thrive NDG group on Facebook. And, yo, the politicians be campaigning in this group. It has become campaigns. Yo, I never thought I'd say this. But because they said they wanted to talk to me, I'm highly invested in NDG local politics now, dude. Shutting down of the game. It was big news. The police commissioner ignored Sue Montgomery. Like, fucking real shit. And then you start thinking about it, like, wait, hold up. The police commissioner ignored the fucking mayor? Hold the fuck up. There's actually something there that might need to be talked about that is beyond a hockey game.
Right, 100%. 100%.
And I hope that gets me on Global. I want to be on the fucking Global.
I'm trying to make it on CTE.
Yo, my mom would watch that shit, and it would probably be like, for her, the fucking Grammys.
Yes.
Like
Major
me,
goals.
like if me and Mitsumi Takahashi get to be on screen together, bro. Oh my gosh. You done did some shit in Montreal if you get Mitsumi.
My mother would be the same if I made it on CJAD. She listens to that every day. If I got on CJAD, bro, major celebrity.
Done. I want to be on CJAD too now. That sounds fucking... Yeah, but that's it. Like the old parent shit. I want to do that circuit. And I think that would be... Because I'd be like, yo, English hip-hop exists the whole way through.
Yes. Major. We need to go on the map, bro. On major national platforms.
I don't know how else to do it. So that popped into my lap. And I'm like, okay. So I'm going to have a very busy summer that is not outside. It'll be... Well, actually, after this shit, it's cool. Because when they're done, I can go outside, which is nice because the curfew's over and we can go
It's
do
over.
things.
It's done, bro.
It's over.
We're out here now.
It's done. We're vaccinated enough. People's be vaccinating, so it's fucking cool.
Yeah, 70%. That's enough.
Yeah.
It's enough.
And that just means people's doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
So it doesn't matter. That's democracy in action. That's what people said is real. 70% is more than 50. Fuck that. Doesn't matter what anybody wants. It's going on. It's happening here. I'm going to go get my second shot once I figure out. You know what happens? I just forget. They send me the email saying you can schedule it early, and I keep fucking forgetting.
Yeah,
Really?
I had it for September. Moved it up to August. Just because why not? You know, I'm going to get it anyway. Might as well get it early.
And as Willie says, we're part of the experiment. Shout out Willie Scandos. He's been doing his thing for reals. But I've been part of the experiment since I copped one of these motherfuckers, Willie. So it's been a
Facts. I'm
long
so tired of
time.
people acting like phones don't play any role in government freaking.
Bro,
Anyway.
they prior to even this level of phone, just the old phones, they could still track you.
Easy.
They used to be able to do that, you know? So, like, I mean, my guy, we've just been spied on forever. And I'm certain that, like, by the time we get it, the military had it for a decade. So usually what it is, like, yo, I don't know if you ever saw the HoloLens, the Microsoft HoloLens. Anyway, it's like a VR, IR shit. Super fucking big, like, VR system for businesses. Microsoft built that for the military. They just showed it to the world to flex a bit, but they built it so the military can refine it, and then once the military's done whatever with it, they move it to us after.
Bro, the internet was built for the military. What are we talking about here, bro?
Everything's built for that shit. Well, in that country is a lot of focus. I don't know about other stuff, but like, so, man, they've been spying for a minute, so this shit is a microchip. And you're asking me, do I want if I want this? Yeah, I do. I like it a lot. I'm really in it. I'm loving
Keeps me
life.
connected. I'm not gonna hate on it. I mean, there's parts of the old life that I remember that I really enjoy, like not being accessible all the time. But
yeah, no,
like I don't like the idea that I need to be on my phone in order to make sure that when you want to talk to me, I'm there.
but you
I don't like that idea.
But you can break that just by not giving a fuck what they think. That's my solution.
That's a thing.
I know it's weird, but I just don't Like, I'll answer you when I can answer. I mean, I can't. Like, yo, somebody right now could be like, maybe I can answer it, but like my whole life changed. If I'm at work, I'm at work and shit. If I'm at like this side, and so it's like, honestly, when I can is just what people can get, and that's just the life.
Right.
So because of life, it forced me down that path, and it's just so amazing. I keep it on silent all day. My ringer is never on.
Max, I don't keep the ringer on because I don't like to be that accessible. Like, I need to reply to you when I receive the message. No, I'll reply to you when I get my message, when I read it, when I want to, you know?
And shit, if you don't leave a voicemail, there's a 50% chance I'm just going to text you.
What are you calling me and not leaving a voicemail for?
I don't know, but no, if you're calling private number and don't leave a voicemail, I never got the call. That's how I feel about that. It's not real. Like, you could be trying to find me. You're never going to, like, I don't know. Like, why are you not Facebook messengering me?
Or just simple text me. It's not that simple. Like, just bro, like, if I got, you have me on Facebook, just message me. I'm tired of the phone calls. Or if you don't reach me by phone call, text me and tell me what the fuck you wanted to talk about. I'll read it and then I'll call you back. But I'm not going to do a call back on a call unless I know what it was about.
Nah, I mean, like, I like Zooms, actually, because it's like a group call. Like, I'm kind of into video calls. Video calls are cool. I fucks with them a lot.
It's the closest thing to in person, I guess.
Yeah, but I'm always kind of, it's also like Star Trek, so if it's close to Star Trek, I fucks with it. And so video calls is dope. I'm with it.
Close to Star Wars.
VR is dope for the connectedness of it. So if we had like cool avatars and we could like fist bump, it would be actually fucking blessed.
Fist bump. Okay. Just a quick fist bump and all the information gets transferred?
No, just literally just, yo, having my avatar fist bump your avatar is cool. I don't even need more than that. You're just because this isn't as fun.
Wow.
That's not cool. It's just like you zoom. It's weird, but in VR, you don't get the photorealism, but you get fist bumps. So I fist bumped Sadat X.
Okay.
Like the hip hop guy from, not Sadat, one of those fucking old timey hip hop guys. It wasn't Sadat. It was one of the DJ Grandmaster Kaz. It was Grandmaster Kaz. So I fist bumped him in a virtual New York.
That's hard.
Yeah, it's weird, but it's cool.
It's almost like connecting with them, but
it was so weird. It's not where I want it to be. It's harder sell than Zoom. Zoom is an easy sell.
Right.
Yeah, man. So when are you gonna start your acting debut then? How are you gonna do that?
I mean, it's all about like ACTRA, figuring out how to do more extra work, and then really just figuring out how to be honest, I really just want to get more in shape. I just want to get to a point where I'm like, I don't want to be the traditional Robert De Niro, you know? I want to be like super fit, get into videos that way, and then after that become a great actor, you know? Take some lessons.
I
want to do the cheat way, 100%.
Should run it. Yeah. If you have the opportunity to do that, do it. That's why I started losing weight. Honestly, I was like, I'm going to make my life easier. I can sell sex. Holy shit.
The easiest way to sell. So do that first, and then after that, I could take acting lessons to really get more refined on my craft, you know?
I love it, man. Yeah, I appreciate this conversation. This is a fucking good time. I really dig this a lot, man. I feel like you have a great personality. I feel like your music's blessed. The range of the music that you have out there really showcases that. Your ability to pivot between R&B and hip-hop is dope. The visuals you present are nice, and it's not just that. Like the clean images, the whole like rollout to your single was really well done. You know, it really was. Like you did a whole like pro tier fucking moves. You know, it wasn't like amateur looking. I caught my eye for sure.
Promo, then after that, behind the scenes. A lot of people were saying don't do behind the scenes before the video comes out, but I was like, I'm not at a level where I could release the video and then release the behind the scenes because who's gonna watch that? But if I do the behind the scenes, people are going to be like, what's going on here? What's the video going to be? And then drop the video.
That's it. It actually worked out in a way where I saw the behind the scenes and said, oh, they put work in on this. I might want to care about this video more. So whoever told you not to do it was lying. It was a bad move. The way you did it was right. I actually watched your behind the scenes video. I fucking swear.
Yeah.
And then I was more invested. Maybe that's part of why, like, when you asked me earlier about the song thing, it didn't hit me the way it hit you, because I watched the behind the scenes first, so I was a little bit acclimated to some, and then I saw the teasers that you posted and shit, so it wasn't fully a bunch of stimuli. It was more like I got excited when I recognized what I recognized from your trailer with the end part that you put, you know, so like it had this whole impact where your marketing just kind of worked. I don't know why it all showed me your shit too, like out of nowhere it just started pumping me Tyrell shit. I don't know what it is. And
I knew we were doing this interview before we did it. You know what I'm saying?
And it worked out like really cool. I just been keeping my eye on it for a minute. I mean, like I said, a few people have held your name in very high regard, and that's not lost on me. So you just need to, you know, look at yourself in the same light, I suppose, because you're fucking amazing, dude.
We're pushing forward from here. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, who else dropped multisyllabics because of Dr. Suess?
This guy bring it all the way back from the beginning.
Yeah, I gotta do that shit. That's it. That's the secret to my interview skills. I remember things. That's it. You don't need anything else. You just need a memory. You got that.
That being said, Holden, I do need to flex. I do have a work shift coming up.
Yeah, and I was like, it's 9. It's probably a good time to wrap it up. But I appreciate having you here. Thank y'all for watching too. It was really wonderful. All your links are gonna.
Shout out to the Twitch streamers. Shout out to the Facebook Live.
And then all of your links are gonna be down below, so they'll be able to go click and find all this stuff, so you don't have to worry about saying it all. And then yeah, so basically, it was super cool having you. I'm just setting up the raid. Like, follow, subscribe, all the fucking lovely people in the future that are gonna watch this. Y'all are wonderful too. And special thanks to the patrons: Ismail Gadamsi, Chris Powder, Jonathan Barnes, DJ Black Hurricane, Linda Williams, Scrubble Duff. Support what we do. Patreon.com/behind that suit if you want to do it.
Oh, follow behind that suit. Let's go.
And then also follow Tyrell because he's wonderful, and it's not Tyler.
It's not. Definitely don't. It's not Tyler.
It's just not Tyler.
It's not. Thank you.
Appreciate you.
All right.